The nerve.
Welcome to another episode of GVN Sports. This is a show where we break down our thoughts on all things NFL and NBA, sometimes other things if we care enough. But we got a fun show and so many topics to break down. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. But before we do, we introduce the panel. Starting off with DIdge. What's up, DIdge?
Oh, not much, Chilling.
You just ready for tomorrow. That's it. You don't even want to waste words. You just need it to be God of War Day, right? That's it. That's all it is.
That is very true.
Yeah, I understand. It's okay. I get it. Ditch is just like, I'm just here to fulfill my obligation. You know, I'm just trying to get to God of War Day. That's it, Juwaan. Just move the shit along. Move it along. Joel, what's up, Joel?
What's up? What's everyone doing? Doing good?
Pretty good. Ready to talk some sports, you know. Luckily for you, Giants had an off week, so it's nothing Giants that stressed you out at all.
No
you know?
Stress. No football stress.
No football stress. So that's always good. But all right, guys, like I always said, I try to start these shows off in a fun way with a question. So the question for this episode is, who is the best player in the NFL? DIdge, start us off.
Best player in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. And you want to know something funny while you think about that, DIdge? The question originally was going to be, who is the best player in the NBA? But because I did not think you could be objective, I said, well, to be fair, if we say NFL, none of us can say any of our players are the best player in the NFL. So that might create more of a conversation. Because if you said Giannis, to be honest, I don't think we necessarily disagree. Yeah. Can't you be like, well, yeah, we agree.
They finally lost yesterday.
Yeah, shout out to DeJounte Murray. He went off. God, he went off. No Trae Young, and you lost. Yeah, goodness gracious. All right, Didge, NFL, who you got? And no, Kyrie is still in here. They just have him. They actually did something that they never do. So usually when a player is suspended in Madden or 2K, they just classify them as injured. This is the first time ever that they're classifying him. His injury report says suspension, 1 to 2 weeks.
Wow.
But he's in the game. He's in the game. You can play as Kyrie. Just, you just have to wipe out his suspension. Like when you do season mode or whatever, you can wipe away an injury report.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still here. He's still in the game. I'm looking right at him. I love how 2K is like, we'll suspend them too. Bitch, I can just fix that, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, if you have the active roster, it makes sense. I mean, you don't
No. I get that. I'm just saying, like, if I told you, like, hey, Julius Randle suspended for the season, you could just go in 2K and wipe that out and play as him. So it's like,
but
I get it. You're trying to be
easier than like taking them off the roster, or putting them in the roster.
Oh, no. I get you on that. Yeah, I get you on that. To me, I don't think there's any reason to remove him from the game. I think that's
from the game, no. But
that's crazy.
Minutes, period. Yeah, like he's injured. That makes sense.
Like I told Didge, homeboy from the Raiders, when he killed somebody in that drunk driving incident, he was in Madden for forever before they removed him from the game. So I'm like, well, Kyrie didn't kill anyone. So I'm like, I don't think his result should be you can't be in 2K anymore. That's weird. But I'm sorry, Didge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that would have been.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Apologies.
Aaron Donald.
Still?
Really?
Steve.
So wait, all that praise, all that coddling, all that love you're giving Patrick Mahomes, and you want to give this award to Aaron Donald in an off year. You want to give it to Aaron Donald.
You want to know why it's an off year? Because they're putting 4 or 5 niggas on him. That's why it's an off year.
Well, I watched Patrick Mahomes with no offensive line go to a Super Bowl. Ain't no excuse for Aaron Donald. Still get through there.
Aaron Donald has Aaron Donald has like half the offensive line on him, and he'll just look at him, breeze through them, and still get to the quarterback. That is dominance.
I'm very impressed. This season is the season you want to continue that narrative. But it's not like he's bad. I just definitely thought you would go a different route. All right. Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is great. Now, don't get me wrong. Patrick Mahomes is great. But when I watched them, I watched the Bucs-Rams game on Sunday, and I saw literally 4 people around him, and he basically just said, "Excuse me," tackle Tom Brady. And I was like, how do you do that?
Yeah, I can't argue that. We also have to keep in mind that Bucs offensive line is.
I don't care. It's numbers at that point. It's really numbers at that point. Four people shouldn't be. You should be able to stop. You should be stopped when 4 people are on you.
All right. Like I said, there's no argument. It's not like he's bad.
No, I get what you're saying.
I just thought this was the weirdest year to say that because it's a slight off year for him. A slight off year. Now, not a massive.
Let me look up his
slight off year.
I'm gonna look up his numbers while you guys are talking.
All right. You want to go next, Joel? Or you want me to go?
You can go.
I'm gonna go Patty Mahomes. I'm gonna go.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Patty Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is so good. He made me apologize to Juju Smith-Schuster. There's not many people that can make me apologize for fucking anything. And I had to look at Juju right in the face and say, I'm sorry. I didn't like that feeling. So to me, I can't fight it anymore.
Wish you actually had
He's
to
the best
player.
Right. No, we had to FaceTime. No. No, he's unequivocally. Not only is he the best player in the NFL, I'm willing to say he's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Wow.
I mean, of course, if you're saying he's the best player, of course you're saying he's the best quarterback.
Well, no, because someone could argue like if Josh Allen had better statistics or better numbers or whatever. Because again, I'm saying it based purely off of just opinion, right?
Fair.
So if someone wanted to fight number, and I'm not saying that the numbers favor Josh Allen, but if someone wanted to fight it with numbers and say that it should go the other way, I'm saying I still feel as though from just my eye test, not paying attention to any numbers or anything, just my eye test, the man just has like. There's like a fear when I watch Patrick Mahomes of like, fucking win this game. God damn. Like you just feel it, right? I don't have that feeling with Josh Allen. I don't. Now, it might be something that changes over the course of the remainder of his career. Sure. But there just is no fear from like, yes. Do I feel like, okay, clearly the Bills are the better team today? Sure. But do I feel like in a close game, like Josh Allen's going to pull this shit out? Yeah, I don't have that fear yet. I don't have it yet. But with Patrick Mahomes, I was watching that Tennessee game. I turned it off, DIdge, before it even went to overtime. And I said, Patrick Mahomes is going to lose.
By the way, Aaron Donald's stats are right in line with every other year. Only thing he has less of is forced fumbles this year. Otherwise, if you average it out,
stats-wise?
He averages out about between 10 to 12 a year, other than obviously the year that he had 20.
No, right. But what was he at this year?
5. So if you average it out, he'd be right. But I'm saying if you average out to the rest of the year, it's basically where he's always at.
I get you. But to see where the other guys are at and then to see where he's at individually is why I say a
lot of those other guys aren't also having half the offensive line on him every play.
Bro, you cannot say that. You can. Who else is causing havoc in New England outside of Matthew Judon, DIdge?
That defense as a whole is causing havoc.
No. On that front line, who else is causing havoc weekly, not just the Colts game? It's Judon's world. Now, I'll give you Micah Parsons. I give you Micah Parsons because DeMarcus Lawrence, but also even Myles Garrett. Who's helping Myles Garrett? And that man's putting up monster numbers.
They're also both. Those are all both edge rushers, whereas Donald does a lot of his stuff in the middle.
He does, but he also does play the edge too. That's what they have.
Not as often.
No, not as often. But that's what they have him listed as. When he could play outside is when he had Vaughn. He could play right outside.
He really could.
He could play right outside.
You told me it wasn't going to change with Bobby Wagner. You told me it wasn't going to change.
I'm out. But Joel, what did he just say? You told me Aaron Donald's numbers didn't change. It's right in line with what he always does.
He would have more forced fumbles. He'd have more forced fumbles. I don't know.
I like you trying to give Vaughn. I like you trying to give Vaughn that credit. I like it. I respect it. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So I'm going Patty Mahomes. To me, it's just losing Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking itchy right now.
Oh, I thought you were asking me. I'm like, the fuck are you?
No, because I just looked up and just saw this, and I was like,
because I wasn't even looking at you. I was looking up at my screen. So I'm like, what is he talking about?
Like, scratch.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. So for me, Patty Mahomes is just one of those things where it's like a lot of people thought losing Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce getting a little bit older, that offense would start to break down. You obviously not having a great running game either.
Trust me, I know.
Oh, I know you know.
Edwards.
They wouldn't be the same.
You still won at least.
Yeah, no thanks to him.
No, you know what I want to hear Joel thank? I want to hear you thank New England, Joel. I want to hear you say thank you, New England Patriots, for helping you beat Juwaan.
Thank this week.
No. It was purely the New England Patriots who racked you up like 900. Well, that's more so to be expected.
That was expected.
Right. New England's defense getting you, 33 points? Some crazy shit like that?
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, I bet it was. You better fucking thank them. But no, Joel, end this out on the question.
I did pick them. So it's not like I'm disrespectful. I chose them to be my defense.
Yeah, but to be fair, you chose defense last. So you're like, it's the best of the last of the group.
I don't think I did.
You didn't choose defense early on.
I chose Tony was last. And now he's the chief.
Gotcha.
Which Tony? There's a lot of Tonys in the
league. No, the Tony that goes.
Oh, okay, last name
yeah,
Tony.
I actually chose. He was my last pick. That was my homer pick, and I cut him.
Didn't you draft Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Hmm?
You drafted Rodgers too, right?
No, I drafted Tom Brady.
I thought you drafted
whoever drafted Aaron Rodgers dumped his ass in the garbage. He's in he's in that free agency right now.
Yeah, he's not no.
To be fair, that man hasn't hit 20 once this year.
It's bad. It's been bad.
In his first game of the season, he had 3. He ended with 3.
I'm trying to see if we can see who drafted him.
Oh yeah, it should show it. Yeah, it should show it.
I'll show you.
While he looks that up, Joel, who's your best player in the NFL?
I was gonna say Patty Mahomes, but fucking took it. So I was like,
see, that's why I asked. Did you want to go first?
I didn't think you were gonna. For all the hate you gave him this year, I figured you wouldn't even go near him. But I was like, all right, fuck, wrong.
No, because that meant I would have had to give that shit to Josh Allen, and I'd rather lose my ability to speak than do that shit. I'll bend the knee to Patty Mahomes.
Bend the knee.
I'll do it.
Bend it.
Josh Allen's getting no credit.
He's doing great. So no doubt there.
As long as he avoids playing the Jets the rest of the year, it'll be phenomenal.
The fucking goddamn Jets.
It'll be phenomenal as long as he avoids the Jets.
Dom.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like, he had Josh Allen. He's not. He doesn't even care.
Yeah, he probably didn't even realize he dropped him. So, oh shit.
Oh shit, fell off.
Oh, we only needed one quarterback. Fuck a bye week. I just, that's just an off week for me. Right. Josh Allen around here. All right, so you're just gonna double down on Patty Mahomes, or you want to pick something else?
Nah, that's probably the best option right now.
I can change mine if you have a legit thing for Patty. I can change mine.
That's fine.
I have a backup.
Do you?
Yeah.
Who's your backup?
Micah Parsons.
That's fair.
Yeah, I was gonna say Simeon, but I'm not choosing a Cowboy, so you can pick him.
See, you don't want to choose a Cowboy. I didn't want to choose a Bill, so I get you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I go Micah Parsons because I would say with Dak out for as long as he was out, without that defense playing almost as deadly as the fucking 2000 Ravens with Micah Parsons and Lawrence out there, I don't think they have the record they have right now. So yeah, I think Micah Parsons this year has ascended himself into being the best player in the NFL.
Where do we put AJ Brown?
AJ Brown?
Mm-hmm.
AJ Brown has to be at least top 5, if not top 5, right there at 6. Right there at 6, but no lower than that. I don't have him any lower than that. I will say this though. And Didge, I'll ask you this, and then I'll spin it back to Joel. Who was the better offseason acquisition, Von Miller or A.J. Brown?
A.J. Brown, because they're undefeated.
Okay.
And it's glaringly obvious, like how much better.
Yeah, how much better. Right. Because it's not like he's throwing to Devontae Smith as much.
Yeah.
I was about to say, to be fair, you could make a case that Bills defense is drastically better than last year. Not a little bit. Drastically better.
I think you can say the same for Philadelphia's offense.
Oh, no. Also, I was just saying, I don't think there's a drop-off between Von and AJ. I think you can almost say that it's almost equal, the impact that they've had.
The only reason I go it's clear-cut AJ Brown is because, like I said, it almost seems like he's not even throwing to Devontae Smith right now. I mean,
bro, he threw to AJ Brown last week with 3 defenders on him, and he caught that shit.
He just throws it up.
I mean, yeah, I'm like, at this point, if you're able to do that, what the fuck am I passing anybody else for?
My question is, what was Tannehill doing with AJ Brown?
Crazy.
No, to be fair, Tannehill, the only difference is Tannehill had the balance between Derrick Henry and AJ Brown. You didn't need to throw as much when Derrick Henry can get you 33 fantasy points as a running back. So it's like, I really need you that much, AJ. But in Philly, where you don't want your quarterback running as much, you don't have as versatile as a running back as Derrick Henry, you then go, well, I'm going to use my premier bell cow. And that's AJ. So I'm going to just throw it to you.
The crazy thing is, I was going to look that up. Yeah. AJ Brown has 3 more catches than Devontae Smith.
Wow.
But he breaks away after.
I'm not saying he's just more explosive.
What's the yak on that?
He has about 100 more, and he has
yak, bro.
And he gets into touchdowns.
Before I pass it to you, Joel, Didge, I have to ask you: when you hear about AJ Brown as a Patriot fan, does it make you cry?
A lot of wide receivers in that draft class make me cry.
No. But he came out and wanted to be drafted by New England. Made a whole Instagram video and everything. He grew up a Patriots fan and was campaigning for New England to draft him. And Bill said, "Oh, well, now that you did that, no, sir."
I may cry a little bit more about him, but a lot of wide receivers in that draft class make me cry.
Yeah, I mean, I do often look over at DK Metcalf and just go, "I'm sorry." I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You could have had Brady at least for like a year or 2, DK. I'm so sorry.
You probably would have had him more because Brady might not have even left.
That's for damn sure.
Like,
no, Bill wanted him out. Bill wanted him out.
If they would have kept winning, I don't know. Bill would have sucked it up.
Because you remember, at the end of the day, it came down to money. Bill was not willing to pay him what he wanted to be paid. So somebody would have outbidded him. If they would have kept winning, that changes a lot of things. Remember, that season ended on the pick 6. That season was oof. That season was like, as a Bulls fan watching Jordan get crossed, you're just, oh my God, is this it? Like, have we hit the end?
This can't be how it ends.
Like, no.
This can't be the end.
Because that's how like a BET movie starts. Like, Jordan gets crossed. Want to know how I got here? It's like, oh no, that can't be how this movie ends. Not the cross.
No, just N'Keal Harry. I have nightmares about that. With the 32nd pick, the New England Patriots pick N'Keal Harry. I wake up like that Dwayne Wade commercial.
So many things about that draft keep me up at night. Is the idea that we could have had Lamar Jackson, could have had AJ Brown, could have had DK Metcalf, could have had just so many different Deebo Samuel, so many great players right now. Lamar Jackson could have been running our offense right now. And Bill said, no.
Hell, we could have had Mecole Hardman. He's not even a great wide receiver.
But he's better than what we got. He's better. I'm sorry, he was better than what we had at the time. Time. And yes, he's also better than what we got now. Yeah. But Joel, better off-season pickup, Von Miller or AJ Brown? Go ahead and give Philly that love. Go ahead, give it to him.
Yeah,
give it to him, Joel.
I don't want to give Philly anything, but I did ask the question because I thought
you did.
AJ Brown has been a big reason why the Philly's been this fucking dominant. It didn't take much. They were already pretty stacked to begin with. And then they did that. So I was like, fuck them. Yeah.
I will say, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, when they went and got AJ Brown on offense and then traded for CJ Gardner-Johnson on defense and like that. Like again, they were already pretty stacked to begin with. It's like, and Bradbury, they picked off waivers when we cut them, motherfuckers.
Hey, look, you guys have been winning too, so fuck them.
Yeah,
clearly you didn't need them that much.
That was scheme. It's all scheme. We're hiding that shit.
I will say one thing I am curious about when it comes to Jalen Hurts is how good is he really? Same thing with Tua, right? Because like we all thought a lot of Patrick's magic came from Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. He gets rid of Tyreek Hill, it's still putting up numbers, right? Now he won't have the I can throw it 10 yards and this motherfucker will take it 100. But he's still giving you those big plays. They've even essentially moved Juju to a tight end. Motherfucker fills in for Travis Kelce when he's on the bench.
It's so
it's very, but he's so. It's like he got bigger, but not really. Like he's taking hits.
Almost.
Yeah,
that
the way
you'd
that
expect
they were
your tight end to take.
I didn't realize, and I'm like, well, has he always been a big receiver? I never.
I think so. I think so. But here's the difference. He always plays outside, right? So you play him outside so much. I guess he just. I don't know. It's weird. I don't really know how to explain it. He's just taking hits like a tight end, but I didn't hear anything of him putting on extra muscle or anything like that. But It's working for them. So I am curious to see if Jalen Hurts is a product of AJ Brown, or is Jalen Hurts just slowly progressed his game to where he's gotten better, but it also helps having AJ Brown.
I think it's both, a little bit of both, a little bit of A, a little bit of B, because I coming into the season, I did not believe in Jalen Hurts at all.
Right. I think a lot of people would agree with you.
Yeah, when we had that debate in the beginning of the year, like, oh man, who drafted fucking Jalen Hurts and got stuck with that? Like,
and right now they're looking at us like,
I did, and I'm fine.
Trying to tell y'all, motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's what a year does to you. Like, you give him a premier weapon too, because now Devontae Smith ain't no slouch either.
Right.
Dallas Goedert can catch a fucking ball. Sanders is a good runner. I mean, he's stacked. You know, he's got complementary pieces.
Right.
So, I mean, AJ Brown has been his fucking godsend. So, I mean, good for them.
Yep. And look, to me, like I said, I like to see these young guys thrive because to me, I want to see who emerges out of this young core as the future to the future. Right? So you look at Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, those guys, Joe Burrow. I won't say Justin Herbert's name ever again in my fucking but, you know, you look at some of these young guys and you're like, who are the younger guys? Who are the younger guys that can step up, you know, when it's
But
time?
they are still the younger guys. I don't think you can already start looking ahead to who are the younger guys because they're still the younger guys.
Well, Patrick Mahomes has been in the league. This is his 6th year.
But Patrick Mahomes, I think it's how old is Patrick Mahomes?
I don't go by age. I don't go by age because your age. Tom Brady's the only motherfucker you look at the age and you're just like, well. But the rest of them, I go by how many years you've played. Because to me, if you're 30, that doesn't mean all of a sudden you're going to fall off. But you tell me you've been playing in the league for 10 years, I'm like, well, that body might start to crumble a little bit. So I just go by how many years you've played.
But so you got to also give his first year. He didn't really, but he also didn't really play.
Oh, right, 100%. So we'll say 5. We'll say 5 then. We'll say 5. I don't have an argument for that. We'll say 5. But no, you're not wrong. All these guys are incredibly young. But I like seeing what this next wave is. Right, the Zach Wilson's. You know the. Fuck! I just said his name and I completely forgot.
Them guys.
Jalen Hurts, Tua, and those guys. So I'm like, I like it. You're seeing a lot of talent from the QB position. When we kind of thought like, ooh,
it's just so weird to me to say like to not put. They're all still just the young guys to me. I don't know. It's so weird.
No, that's fine. I'll just say the next wave down. That's fine. I'll just say the next wave down. I won't say young guys. I'll just say the next wave down. That works?
I guess.
Sure,
Yeah.
Sure. No.
Let's move to our first topic. All right. I want to start off with what we thought the game of the week was in football. Joel, I'll let you start this time. What did you think was the game of the week?
I don't even remember most of the games. I remember I was trying to play. Like,
you want me to start then?
Did you not watch football because the Giants didn't play?
No, I did. I just didn't pay attention to. I don't pay attention to the game of the week. I just watch whatever's on TV.
I'm gonna say Jets Bills.
The game of the week is whatever fucking team has my players on it. So like that fucking Chiefs game was my player of the week because I'm like, if he fucking gives you an egg, I can lose this game. I was like paying attention very forcefully to that game.
If he gives you an egg, how do you think I felt when the fucking Titans just said, "Nah, it's okay, Derrick Henry, you go ahead and sit down"?
But he still gave
that was so wild. When he had 92 at halftime, I was like, he's about to eat. And the second half came, I was like, yo, I had to go. I was like, did he get hurt?
Here's why Mike Vrabel could have gotten fired for that game if his defense didn't play as well as they did. You sit Derrick Henry, but then refuse to make your quarterback throw the football. So what the fuck do you think your offense is if you can't run it or throw it? You're just gonna hope your defense scores points?
They were trying to throw it. It just wasn't
like goodness gracious. I tell you what, Malik Willis, I believe that kid can grow. But man, did he make it evident that they miss Ryan Tannehill. Almost every sports pundit said if Ryan Tannehill played this game, they would have won. And it makes it really hard to disagree with it because that's how bad Malik Willis was. But goodness gracious, man. But yeah, so I'm going to go Jets-Bills. That's my game of the week.
That's a good one.
Tried to tell DIdge that young boy Wilson was coming. He was coming. I was trying to warn you. I don't think Wilson could have won that game if he had played. Well, that motherfucker beat A-Rod, Josh Allen.
You know who he didn't beat? You know who he
doesn't matter.
Yes, because all that makes me think is Buffalo ain't as scary as we think. That means when we go face Buffalo, we can go in there and win that. That's all. I just got confidence.
No,
that's all I got out of it.
We don't have a Sauce Gardner. No,
that's all I got was confidence. Yes, we do.
Who? Name them.
We got Jack Jones.
Who?
Jack Jones, I believe, will become our J.C. Jackson in a year or two. But right now, no. Sauce Gardner is that motherfucker.
No, we got Jack Jones.
Josh
Allen.
We
got Jonathan Jones. We got the Joneses back there.
Yeah, I noticed you didn't say Mac Jones. That wasn't your response to Zach Wilson. I love that. I'm talking about our defense. I really was proud of how well the Jets played defensively. Like, they never got punked out in that game. They never let Stephon Diggs come in there and kind of just have his way. Even though Sauce Gardner got completely torched in that first play
in the beginning,
to Stephon Diggs, and it looked like it was going to be a long night.
He was not expecting that shit.
And then he said, he hit him with the double move. Stephon Diggs is filthy with that fucking double move. I can't even blame you, Sauce. That was a filthy move. But that defense shored itself up and kind of just said, no, man, not today. We were sick of being New England's bitches. We ain't about to spend a decade being y'all bitches either. No thank you. We stepping it up. And they came playing with house money, right? I don't think anyone picked them to win. They came out there and they showed up and showed out. That's why I always tell people these divisional games are very tough when you go to pick them. Like, unless the opposing team is just horrifically bad. Right? I mean, just hot garbage doo-doo water. The divisional games always play tough. Always. That's why whenever Dallas would play the Giants weren't any good. Giants were always susceptible to get that win. Why? They just play each other tough as shit. So I'm going Jets, Bills. That was definitely the game of the week for me. And shout out to Sauce Gardner with the Snow Angels at the end. Even though, by the way, everyone gave Sauce Gardner so much credit for that play, right? I think a lot of people forget that receiver had the ball, hit him right in the chest, then in the hands, and then he dropped it. Sauce Gardner had nothing to do with that drop. He just dropped it. So to me, I'm like, I give Sauce Gardner all the credit in the world for playing as aggressively as he did. And I'm glad the refs kind of ate their whistle. To me, on a potential end-of-the-game play, that kind of seems like they were both aggressive with each other. You kind of just let it play out. Unless it's just like flagrant. But no, I will not say Sauce Gardner is the reason he dropped it because the man had it in his hands. I don't know how he didn't just corral it in with his body. But he dropped it. He just plain old dropped it, you know. But yeah, so I'm going. That's my game of the week. Joel, were you seriously going with the Chiefs and the Titans?
Well, I mean, not seriously, but it was my. I was definitely paying attention to most of that game because it was the last game for me. So I was like,
yeah, it's me too, motherfucker. I was like, Derrick Henry, please, I beg you, dog, I beg you, just get out here and just run a little bit. Yeah,
at least Derrick Henry produced. Larry gave me like 4.
Joel, but remember at that point,
4. They played 3 fucking running backs. I cut that motherfucker. He's gone now. He's not on my team anymore.
Here's the
Your
difference.
guy is still what do they call it? A workhorse, whatever.
Yes, but the difference is at that point and where we were in fantasy, you were just hoping for me to do nothing, right?
Yeah. No.
At that point, I didn't need you to do nothing. You were already ahead of me. I just needed me to do something.
I needed to do something to lead. Now, I still won by like 20.
You never lost it. Yeah, I was about to say, you never lost the lead at any point of that
Sunday. It was at to the point where unless Derrick Henry was going to go for like 40.
50, but he did like the week before. So I was like, you never know.
I get it.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. For me, I needed him to produce rather than I needed you to not produce. You just needed me to not produce. That's the difference.
I wanted something. Now he gave me something, which is like I wish I should have said maybe more than something, because that's all he gave me was something. He gave me something.
He acknowledged that he was breathing. That's really all he gave.
That's crazy because I went in thinking that he was going to share time with Pacheco, and he ends up sharing time with Pacheco and McKinnon. I'm like, well, this motherfucker
like that. You know how like when you ask your mom for stuff, I'm fine here. That's how he was with points.
That's how it was. Here's something, bitch, man. He got a first down. That gave me what? Another point. Thank you, asshole.
Did you catch anything?
No, it was the worst. I was like, I was there in big pain watching that game.
That's another thing that I thought was really weird. Tennessee didn't do more is that if Malik Willis was struggling as much as he did, just have Derrick Henry go out and catch some and take some for him. Just those short dump offs that could lead to something bigger. But I'm like, you guys really just fucked me. Like, you just fucked me in this game, bro. Just use Derrick. Why'd you sit him?
It was so wild.
Weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anything else you wanted to add, Joel?
I would have to look at the game to actually give you a better answer. Because I watched the games, I just don't remember.
No problem. DIdge, what you guys the game of the week?
Miami, Chicago. That game was so much fun.
Yes, it was.
That game was so fun.
Can I just say real quick, that game was so close. I changed the channel just to see who came in as quarterback for the Bears. Because I thought either the Bears gained a quarterback or Miami lost a quarterback.
Justin Fields.
What is happening? Who is that quarterback right now?
I'm not going to lie.
Who is that masked man?
Not going to lie. The Bears kind of got heated at the end. That was a pass interference. That was a pass. That man got tackled. And he was still going down when the ball, he got hit midair. They're both going down when the ball got there. And the ref was like, yeah, incomplete. And I was like, oh, that was bad. That was
the Bears receiver caught it?
No, so the Bears receiver, he jumped up for the ball. Miami's defender came in, hit him. They're going down when the ball basically hits his hands.
Right.
And the ref said, like, no, and it wasn't like it was a bang bang play. Like, you can clearly tell he hit him early.
Yeah, then I think the ref was just like, I don't know who the fuck these receivers are in Chicago. So yeah, we just gonna go.
And it was weird because they were in Chicago, so I was like, all right, well.
Right. He's just like, yeah, this is over. I don't know who the fuck that receiver is. You guys gotta get better receivers, I guess. But no. So tell me what stood out for you in that game.
Justin Fields had the day of his life. The man ran for almost 200 yards. Like,
no. Time out. He didn't have the day of his life that day. He had the day of his life in New England. That was
he might have played better. He might have played better because
maybe it's just against AFC East. Maybe that's what it is.
Not only was he throwing the ball well, like he didn't have a crazy amount of yards passing, but he was getting the touchdowns. It was pretty accurate too. But running the ball was just insane.
He's been playing really well the last couple.
He has, and then Tua was been the tour that we saw all year so far. So that was also fun. Like I said, it was back and forth. It was a fun game.
I mean, with a score like 35-32, right? Was the final?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a score like that, you had to have been a fun game. I mean, unless the defenses just took the day off. Like,
I might start putting in Fields now because like Tom Brady.
No. Be careful with that.
No.
Justin
All
Fields
I've
has
got.
more games.
Tom Brady had 7 points going into the fourth quarter. 7, and then luckily he gave me 16 at the end. That last minute ditch. The last 2 weeks, he's giving me like a random 10 points at the last 5 minutes. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah,
well, hit 7 points for the whole game.
I mean, fucking he who shall not be named in fucking Chargers land decided to shit himself in these last few fucking games.
I let you convince me to draft him in another league, and let me tell you, I am pissed.
Let me ask you this: did you see this coming? Him playing this bad? Did you see this coming?
I am.
That's the difference. I didn't sell you a bad player that I told you would get good. I sold you a good player that's gotten bad. So it's like I didn't expect this.
What's crazy is, I mean, to be fair, I do think he's playing hurt. I really do think he's playing hurt because
that don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah, I know you're heartless, but the first 2 weeks he was playing really good. Then that Kansas City game, remember he like almost broke his ribs or whatever.
Not almost. I think they broke the fuck out of his ribs.
That's been the difference. He hasn't been the same since.
Okay.
Like his completion percentage went down. He still throws a shit ton of yards. So like
It just also doesn't help that Keenan Allen's decided to take the year off. Like that also does not help him.
Keenan Allen does that like every other year though. He just didn't do it last year.
This is off year.
Right.
Motherfuckers having a Julius Randle type of season, Joe.
No.
He's having a Randallism. Yeah. Fuck everybody in that Chargers team. Everybody, including he who shall not be named. But no, I'm definitely with you. That Miami Chicago game was definitely one that was like,
it was so much fun to watch.
Confused.
And it was so shocking because it's like the Bears. Really?
Genuinely shocking? I'm sorry.
Yeah, same Bears that wiped their asses and noses and feet with us did. Yeah, the Bears. The Bears.
We got a better record than them, but that's all that matters.
The Bears.
I guess. But no, that's why. So the Bears are exactly why I told my dad that in the NFL this year, right? Not in the totality of the NFL existing, but this year specifically, there's maybe one or two teams that are just legit bad, right? Like they're just fucking bad. But the Lions, the Jaguars, and the Bears are not bad teams, right? So like you look at a record and you go, oh, they're fucking horrible. No, they're not. They're playing well enough to win, but there's just something missing there. Like they're not playing bad football. You know what I'm saying? There's something good in there. They just got to pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And I think they don't have Jacksonville. I won't say that about, but I think the other teams don't have the proper head coaches to pull out said.
The Lions, I'll give them every single one of their losses except for 2 were within one score, and the 2 that weren't within one score, Swift didn't play.
Right.
So
and
they
shout
were
out
missing
to Jared Goff not being the reason why they have a bad record.
Right. It just seems like they can do enough to stay in the game, and something just bounces the wrong way.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Did Joel just say Jared Goff has been serviceable?
Yeah.
That man's putting up fucking numbers. That man is doing shootouts. He dropped 40 one time this year, didn't he?
Would you trade for Jared Goff?
Over Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Fuck yes. I can't remember last time Mac Jones had 400 or 300 yards this season.
You trade for Jared Goff, you had an opportunity?
You're talking about this season?
Yeah, I'm
season,
going forward.
Oh, shit. If Mac Jones continues to play like he's playing and Jared Goff continues to play like he's playing, yes, indeed.
This could be an aberration. I mean, Goff's not a terrible quarterback. He's just...
Not at all.
You know what I mean? He's just what it is, you know?
Right. To me, I just thought he was just mismanaged. He was mismanaged, and then a lot of last year was just the person calling the plays. But Jared Goff is not I think people forget. Again, it was largely on the
top
defense, but He didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Mac Jones threw for 300 yards week 3
of this season. Who the hell did we play?
They just looked it up. Like, I'll go find them.
The Ravens.
Who the hell did we play? Oh yes, I remember that game. And that was when he got his leg snapped. Yeah, I remember that game. I remember he got 300 yards and then threw not one other fucking yard in that fourth quarter. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that now.
I mean, he got hurt.
Look up. No, he got hurt on the last play of the game. The game was over at that point.
Don't want to.
But look up Jared Goff. Look up how many times he's gotten over 200 yards this season. So
over 200 or over 300? Because I said 300.
No, over 200. Over 200. No, you were right on the 300, but just over 200.
Every game except this last one.
And this last one, how many did he have?
137.
And how many over 300 has he had?
2.
Right there. Yeah, I'm taking Jared Goff. I'm taking Jared Goff. What does his interceptions look like, Didge?
Equal.
To Mac Jones?
Yep.
Oh, then that's sad, Jared Goff. Mac Jones has been out. That's sad. That's either sad for Mac Jones for how many he's thrown in singular games, or that's sad for Jared Goff for throwing that many over the course of the game.
For Jared Goff.
Touchdowns are a different story.
I was going to say, he has to have way more than Mac Jones. There's too many games. I'm like, we haven't scored a touchdown offensively yet.
Touchdowns are a different story.
So
yeah, that I can understand.
That's the difference. He's throwing it way more, you know.
Even though he doesn't have to necessarily.
I don't know if he's throwing it.
He's not throwing it?
Not way more, because you got to figure Mac Jones missed some games.
Right.
And he's roughly probably about those. If he threw at the same rate that he threw it the rest of the year and didn't miss those games, they'd be around the same completion attempt.
But also, I think he doesn't.
Mac Jones actually has a higher completion percentage.
I think, less games. Also,
that is what he's known for.
And he dumps off too. He dumps off a lot. I think what we also have to keep in mind is that Jared Goff doesn't have to throw as much as Mac Jones is looked at to throw. You have a running back that you just put it in his hands and you just tell him to go to work.
Yeah.
With New England, for some strange reason, they can't decide which offense they want. Do I want to be a run offense or do I want to be a pass offense? They just try to blend it and it never looks good. So that also
31st ranked QBR in the league, though. That's rough.
Who?
That's your man's, though, Didge. That's your man's.
That's rough.
That's your man's in them, right?
What was the rank?
31st.
Oh my God.
Joel, do me a favor for our audience, because our audience doesn't keep up with sports like we do. How many NFL teams are there?
That doesn't necessarily mean that he's out of 32 teams.
No. How many NFL teams are there?
But that doesn't necessarily mean he's.
How many NFL teams?
That's not 32 quarterbacks ranked, though. That's not fair.
Matter.
That's
how
not
many
fair.
NFL teams are there?
Don't do this. Don't do this. There's not 32 quarterbacks in that ranking.
All right,
there
are 32 teams in the NFL audience.
That didn't really help me. There are 37 quarterbacks in the ranking.
There you go, Didge.
So that didn't really help me.
That's your man's, Didge. That's the guy you said, I'm going to the moon.
They do I'm sorry, they do QBR based off of 32. I didn't know that.
So again, Didge, I will ask you, how many NFL teams are there?
Oh, but I like who's 32nd.
Who's
Look
32nd?
at that. You already know who's 32nd.
No, who's 32nd?
The Six God himself.
I like that you call him Six God, though. You know what his name is. You know what his name is.
Because he only can win 6 games, you know. Because he only can win 6 games.
That's not why. If he started last game, he would have won that. That would have been another notch.
Oh, they would not have won that.
Yeah, he would have. Came in, scored right away. Said, this is my shit.
That's because they were already up 42.
It don't matter. It don't matter. He scored. Shut up, Didge. All right, let's move to our next topic. Shut up, Didge. Let's move to our next topic. Right now, who's the front runner to win the MVP in the NFL right now? Didge.
It might be Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
You
going purely based off of undefeated record?
That and he's playing really well. He's playing really well.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that to sound like I was knocking him. I'm saying a lot of people are saying you can't give it to somebody else when the guy has an undefeated record and is also playing well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is the other cat. Like, he's like, there are people who are arguably playing as good as him.
Right.
But the record.
That's what separates it. Right. That's what I meant. That's what I meant by the undefeated record is what separates them. But okay. Jalen Hurts. I don't have any argument there. Joel, who you got?
For what was the question?
Who do you think is the front runner to win the MVP this year?
I want to say I think it's Jalen Hurts, but I'm gonna go with, and you guys are gonna like this.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I like it.
See, because Prime's not here, so I will take his spot for today.
I like it a lot. He's in my. Let me see.
Prime told us we should listen.
You're taking too long. No. He's not high. You took too long. He's not. No,
he's 6. He's 6. He's at 6. Kirk Cousins is at 6. I'm at 6 right now. I'm at 6. But that's no disrespect to Kirk Cousins. I just have people that I think are just playing fucking unbelievably right now.
So hold on, before you continue, based off of Joel, I want to give you guys blind stats. Mm-hmm. And I want you to tell me which is Kirk Cousins and which is the other quarterback. So we got 2,000 yards, 63% completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
That's not
second quarterback is 1999 yards, 64% completion percentage, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
That's Kirk Cousins. Second one's Kirk Cousins.
The second one? You were right.
Yeah, that's Kirk Cousins. Yeah, that's Kirk Cousins.
First one was Jared Goff.
Hey, Jared!
So I can't give Kirk Cousins the MVP because I don't think he's the reason. I don't think he's the reason. My point was I don't think he's the reason for the Vikings record. He's not. He's playing cool because Jared Goff's playing cool, but the difference there is Kirk Cousins has people around him who are playing.
Just say Justin Jefferson.
Well, what's Jalen Hurts' name?
That is a good question, actually.
But also, Joel, wait, before you even say that, keep in mind. No. Keep in mind that what's his name from Philly? It's a little skewed because it's rushing, passing. It's rushing and passing.
I'll only do passing.
Okay.
2,000 yards.
I'm saying when you do MVP, that's what they told.
True.
It's totality.
That's how Lamar won it that year. 68% completion percentage, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
2 interceptions is great considering how much he had last year. I think it was like 10.
Also, Joel, we just finished saying the man throws 50-50 balls that apparently A.J. Brown is 100% at.
It's true. So that's what I mean.
Not many opportunities for interceptions.
Not many guys can catch those balls. So there's a good. That's why he got away with it this year.
But Kirk Cousins
that's
doesn't
sort of
have
my
an
point.
excuse
Is with
that motherfucker
Kirk
has
Cousins.
Justin Jefferson.
He does have Justin Jefferson. He does.
So it's like, bro,
yeah, but I think those interceptions. I think all those interceptions are when he's not throwing to Justin Jefferson.
Well, throw to him more. It's working.
I'd love it
for Hurts.
I mean, he has Thielen and now he has Hockenson.
Oh, trust me, I know Thielen's not doing shit because I have Thielen. And I've watched him do nothing all year. Essentially, I forgot he even was playing last week. I said, "Oh shit, yeah, he is on my squad." Okay, yeah. What you doing this week? Nothing. Not a damn thing.
I mean, he gave me something.
Nothing. Nothing.
Ingram gave me nothing. I got 1 point.
Oh, yeah, that is nothing.
I got 1 point from Taysom Hill.
Well, to be fair, why are you expecting much from Taysom Hill?
Because Taysom
50-50 ball right there.
Taysom Hill, I forgot I had Dallas Schultz as my tight end. And so obviously he was on the bye. But 2 weeks ago, Taysom Hill put up like 40 points.
That's the problem with Taysom Hill. Like 1 week is 40, 3 weeks is nothing, and then you get 40 again. Passing, catching, throwing.
Right. Rushing. So I was like, all right, well, look, just a gamble. Let's throw him in there.
That guy's the ultimate utility guy every 5 weeks. It's like whenever it works. It's funny.
I'm going to go drastically different. So we went Kirk Cousins, we went Jalen Hurts, right? Didge? You said Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts? All right, I'm going to go completely different area of the spectrum. I'm going Tyreek Hill.
I can't
is
see
my
him giving a
MVP
wide
of this
receiver MVP.
I get you, but if this man hits 2,000 yards this season, Didge, how the fuck can you not?
They didn't give it to Cooper Kupp last year.
That's fair, but fuck Cooper Kupp. We're talking this season.
That man had the triple crown for receiving last year.
We're talking this season.
Didn't get it.
This season. Get it. Fuck him. Okay? Fuck him. All right? We're talking Tyreek Hill. Right? Tyreek Hill deserves that shit. All right? It's so weird because we can't even say that Tyreek Hill has drastically made Miami better because we can't sit back and act like Jalen Waddle is just, sipping water.
No
so I'm like, that man is putting up numbers himself. It's the fact that Tyreek Hill demands your safety, your linebacker, and your corner. Jalen Waddle is on like your third best corner, just chilling. Like, hey, this guy's shit. So to me, I'm open. Which is weird because the reason why I drafted Gesicki was I thought Tyreek Hill would be triple teamed. Waddle would get your second best corner, which means Gesicki, middle of the field, wide open, is just picking up all the crumbs. This motherfucker is crumbs. He's just doing fucking nothing for me. He is almost as horrible as fucking Hunter Henry. Almost as. And that motherfucker is virtually doesn't even play at this point. Doesn't even fucking play. Blocks. That's what his role has become. But yeah, I'm going Tyreek Hill. That man is just fucking phenomenal. I mean, I don't really know what to say. I wanted to go defense, but that's looked at even more disrespectfully.
Yeah, I was going to say, they
than wide receiver. Yeah, so it's like, part of me wanted to also put, yes, that's what I want. Didge, this is why I love you. That's the conversation I wanted to have. They've been talking about that over the last few weeks, that they should have a Peyton Manning award that goes to the best quarterbacks. And then MVP is more opened up to every other position. So it doesn't kind of get pigeonholed
to the quarterback. Yeah.
Right, to just the quarterback. Because to me, I don't think the narrative can exist anymore that, well, you need a great quarterback to win a championship. Not today. Today, if you have a wide receiver named A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, like all these studs, you just need a quarterback who's competent.
Right.
That's really all you need. You just need a competent quarterback.
Throw it in the area.
like think about when Baltimore, even though Baltimore is such an aberration, but when Baltimore won their Super Bowl with Ray Lewis in the early 2000s, there was no like, all right, this is the greatest wide receiver in the NFL. This is the greatest quarterback in the NFL. No, it was just purely my defense is going to go out there and make sure you only get 3 today. So it's like we've seen championships won by quarterbacks that weren't a top 10 or top 5 quarterback in the year that they won the Super Bowl. So to me, I don't think that that's a narrative we can continue to thrive off of is you need a top 10, top 5 quarterback to win a championship. No. Does it give you the best odds? For sure. Is it a necessity? No. So what do you think about that, Didge? What do you think about the Peyton Manning Award that's dedicated to quarterbacks? And then the MVP can kind of be opened up for everybody else.
It makes sense, but I don't think it's going to change it. They're going to just give the best quarterback the Peyton Manning Award and then MVP.
Yeah, to me, I kind of feel like that has to be you take quarterbacks out of the MVP conversation because the MVP conversation for quarterbacks are now the Peyton Manning Award. I think if you still give them votes, then it defeats the purpose of separating the two.
It's going to be like college football. It's the MVP award has basically come with the Heisman Trophy has been to college football. And it's, yes, you have the Davey O'Brien Award where the best college QB is supposed to get it. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times the Heisman Trophy winner, especially when, like I said, there's freak years where it may be a running back. Or I think a couple years ago, Devontae Smith had won it at wide receiver. But for the most part, it ends up being the Davey O'Brien Award winner. Also has the Heisman Trophy. Hell, in college, they have the Walter Camp Award, which is, I think it's supposed to be the best overall player. A lot of times, the quarterback wins all 3. So it's like, it's just sort of the nature of the beast at this point, where you have to do something truly magical in order to not have it. And like I said, unfortunately, as we saw with Cooper Kupp last year, even doing something truly magical may not mean as much.
But that's why, to me, I believe if you do this, you do it with the bylaws being quarterbacks cannot be voted for in MVP anymore. That's what the Peyton Manning.
But then how is it most valuable player?
Because again, if you're saying most valuable player and you're telling me that for the last decade it's only been quarterbacks, I then call bullshit. Because I'm then telling you, you're not telling me that the 1 year Calvin Johnson had those insane fucking numbers. He couldn't get it. That 1 year CJ 2K had what, 2,000 yards or some shit?
I get what you're saying.
Have won it. So I get what
you're saying, but immediately
I think the NFL skews what
you're not wrong.
MVP is.
And you're not wrong, but I just don't know if the answer is saying you can't vote for this position for this award, because then it's most valuable player outside of that position. That's not the nature of the award.
Yeah, but again, you've been voting it as such. You've been voting it like it's a quarterback race. It's not a quarterback
I understand that, and I agree there needs to be changes to the way the MVP is voted on, but I just don't know if saying you can't vote quarterbacks anymore is the right way to do it.
That's the only way to be effective. Bruh, Michael Strahan had the sack record, and no one ever gave him MVP votes. So what are we talking about? That's what I'm saying. So to me, I think that's the only way you solve this problem, is to remove the quarterback position.
But then it's not most valuable player anymore. Because what about that year where truly the most valuable player is a quarterback?
Yes, but DIdge, where you would be 1,000% correct is if at any point there was a consistent parity. There's not been. It's not been a consistent parity. And that's why it becomes it's just a quarterback award.
But it's still the fact that you're saying, like I said, if you add some guidance to saying, hey, you need to really look at other positions, that makes sense. But to just flat out bar and say you don't vote quarterbacks for this award.
DIdge, we know that doesn't work. What happened when we told the league, hey, look at more black head coaches? They said, we'll bring them in to talk to them. They don't listen to that shit, DIdge. You got to actually structure change. It.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I just don't know if that's the way you do it. But
all right, Joel, break the tie. How do you feel about the idea of doing something like a Peyton Manning award that's just dedicated to the best quarterback, and then leaving the MVP award to every other position?
I think it's very complicated, because as much as I'd like to see that, it would be fun. I would like separating the quarterbacks and the rest of the league, honestly, because they are the most important players most of the time. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, that's why they win it most of the time. Mm-hmm. It's just like it's almost unfair. They have an unfair advantage, being that they're that important to the. So they might get it, separating them and them having their own, just like the offense gets like the offense player of the year, defense player of the year, like because you separate because it's basically two different teams. Right. I think you could do that with basically offense having the quarterback, and then the rest of the league have their own MVP. Right. So it's still MVP, but it's quarterback MVP, and then you have regular player MVP.
Right. I completely agree. And that's why I said you have to separate the two, because at the end of the day, the problem that's going to continue to happen is you look at the Triple Crown, right? You look at Cooper Kupp getting the Triple Crown. Who won MVP last year? Aaron Rodgers, right?
Aaron Rodgers also had a fucking phenomenal year.
No, but here's my point. It then comes down to, well, Cooper Kupp can't throw it to himself, so we're going to go ahead and give it to the quarterback. And that's why I'm saying you kind of poo-poo something that we'll probably never see ever again from a player of that stature, right? That's usually like players like Jerry Rice, Devontae Adams, Terrell Owens, like guys, these big receivers. These smaller guys don't hit numbers like that. He was essentially unguardable last year. So I'm saying you kind of just poo-poo that. You poo-poo Michael Strahan breaking the sack record. You poo-poo CJ 2K getting 2,000 yards. You kind of just poo-poo these things because you value the quarterback so high. And we're now in a league where we can all agree there's maybe out of 32 teams, there's maybe 10 legit quarterbacks. So out of 32 teams, there's 10 legit ones. And you're telling me that quarterback is the be-all to end-all. What about those other teams that are winning games
Yeah,
with a
but
serviceable quarterback?
Well, what about the flip side of that? The year that Mahomes had, or the year that Peyton had, or the year that Brady had, 07. All of those years where those were magical years at quarterback, and you're just like, because you're a quarterback, you can't win MVP. It just doesn't seem right.
Time out. But I'm not saying that. Like Joel just said, you are getting an MVP. It's just now a quarterback MVP award. And
But
now
you-
the rest of them
essentially-
getting obviously a shot at
But
another
essentially,
MVP
it's the
award
same.
for them.
It's the same now. They get Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, but to me, again, the problem with that is MVP is looked at way different. You've never seen somebody go, well, he deserves a gold jacket because look how many Offensive Player of the Year awards he had. Well, how many MVPs? None. Well, no one ever brags off of that. They'll brag off of the Pro Bowl more than they will an Offensive Player of the Year. They don't even talk about that shit.
It's just so weird to do because the quarterback award is essentially the same thing you're saying that Offensive Player of the Year is going to. They're not going to say, oh, he got so many quarterbacks of the year.
No.
No.
But it wouldn't be called quarterback of the year. It's still called MVP. You're just designating it just for quarterbacks, and then the rest of the players get a separate MVP. Why?
Because it's just not. Why do you have so many MVPs? Then you have
two. Just two.
That's too many. Because there's not two most valuable player because literally the name is the most valuable player.
Yes, but in a league where there's
and I get that that's not, but then you're not the most valuable player. You're one of the most.
So let me ask you this. If the year Brady threw 50 touchdowns, right? And this was not the same year. I'm just asking you a hypothetical. The year Brady threw 50 touchdowns, right? Had never been done. Brady did it, right? 50 touchdowns. You then look over. CJ, 2,000 yards, right? You then look over. Michael Strahan, 23 sacks, right, Joel? I think it's 23 he was at. 23, right?
I think so.
How do you differentiate who's the MVP, who's the best player that year?
Well, MVP is most valuable to their team, so how do the teams do?
No. Yeah. I get that that's what it's supposed to be, but to me, if you're saying that he got 50, right? He got 2,000. He got 23. Those are all valuable stats to that team, right?
What's the most valuable?
That then becomes splitting hairs because Aaron Rodgers won it last year. But are you telling me that if you took Cooper Kupp off of that Rams team, they would have got just as far as they did?
Maybe not. I didn't say Aaron Rodgers should have won last year. I'm just saying he had a phenomenal year last year.
I'm just saying to me, if you don't separate it, it becomes, if you don't start separating the MVP, it's going to become just as stale as Defensive Player of the Year has for NBA. So where you kind of just go, well, we know where the fuck this is going to go. The same fucking people you rotated to. Let's just move on. Let's move on. You don't even have to say it. We know. Okay, let me close my eyes. Rudy Gobert, right? Okay, thank you. Let's move on. So to me, it's like you got to find a way to spike. That's why when Marcus Smart won it was just like, well, now I kind of need you to focus more on other players that aren't Rudy, Giannis, and Draymond. Right? Like, now, can you hone in that there are other great defensive players? Because at that point, it just becomes boring. And to me, I kind of feel like it waters the award down at that point. It just does. That's why when Adrian Peterson won it over Peyton Manning, fucking almost had a heart attack. Oh, what the what? What? God bless. This shit never happens. So for me, I just think you need to figure something out because what you're doing now isn't working. And you're poo-pooing on people that are having phenomenal years that are just as valuable as the quarterback you gave it to. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
I don't know if I agree with it.
Really?
I feel like you water down the award more than that to say, oh, we're gonna give you this special class, and then here's for everybody else. You're not saying you're the best player in the league.
But you're making it sound like I'm giving a participation award. No, I'm just saying.
Honestly, it sounds like you are.
But an award. So here's my thing, Didge, that I think maybe we're skipping over. You're saying you want to keep it the way it is, to where traditionally it's only a quarterback award. It's only a quarterback award.
That's my problem. I acknowledge that is an
only
issue,
a quarterback award.
I acknowledge that that's an issue. I just don't think to say, oh, well, we're going to give you guys a special MVP is the way to go about it.
It's not a special
MVP. It is because you're eliminating an entire position from being able to win it. That's when you're saying, okay, I got to give you guys a special.
So then what happens to the rest of the NFL when you essentially abolish every other position because you only give it to quarterback?
Then get new voters. Tell your voters, hey, you guys aren't. Get new
I don't
voters
think that shit'll ever change. They'll always just value the quarterback more. That'll never change.
Or create criteria to what you're voting for.
But then the timeout. But then the problem is going to come to last year. That's what I think they made the decision on. That's why it went to Rodgers over Cooper Kupp. Is that Cooper Kupp doesn't throw the football to himself. So the fact that Aaron Rodgers was throwing it as many times as he did for as little interceptions as he did, they valued that more than they valued this man getting the Triple Crown. And that shit's not like if a Triple Crown happened every other year, I would say, all right, well, fuck it. It happens so often. That shit doesn't. I think Sterling Sharp was the last time we had a Triple Crown. That motherfucker hasn't played in forever.
I get it. And like I said, it's gonna be it's tough. It's gonna take time, but I think you do more damage to say we're gonna create you a special award over here because you couldn't win regular MVP.
I just think, to me, you're deflating these players that are putting up historic numbers, but you're essentially saying, well, you're not a quarterback, so you can't have it. That's essentially what you're saying. You're not a quarterback, so you can't have it. That's what I'm saying. What you don't want is what the NFL is already doing. You're isolating. You're isolating already. That's my problem. That's all I'm saying. Okay. But again, I think we all agree on the principle that it's a problem. You just don't like the way me and Joel would choose to execute that, would fix that said problem. That's the only difference we're having. Because I think we all agree it's a problem.
It's definitely a problem. It's definitely a problem.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. No problem. All right, let's move on to our next topic. Joel, I'm going to start off with you on this one. Giants are coming off of their bye week this upcoming week. Giants in New England are slated, I believe, and DIdge, please correct me if I'm wrong, top 5. They're top 5 in hardest remaining schedules. I think Giants are at like 3. I think New England's at like 4 or 5. So, Joel, how are you feeling about this second half for the Giants coming out of this bye week? Like, because I heard, what's his name? Galladay is getting a little healthier.
He should be ready.
Yeah, he should be ready. So, like, how are you feeling about this second half, knowing that you guys have one of the hardest remaining schedules going forward?
Well, we just lost our defensive play caller.
I was just reading that article.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Joel. In my mind, when you say play caller, I immediately go to coach. You meant player, like physical on the. Got you. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm like, I didn't hear anybody got fired. What the fuck are you talking about? I got you.
What did he do in Cabo? It doesn't say. It just says it was a freak accident.
He broke his finger.
Y'all didn't learn after JPP. You can't let motherfuckers just do shit. Like, you gotta have restrictions.
Broke like multiple fingers, apparently.
Yeah, he had certain. It says it was a freak accident.
Yeah,
in Cabo,
an ATV accident.
So, can I ask you, Joel? Is there something about giant players and fingers that y'all just don't give a fuck about? Like, I don't need fingers.
Players, I don't know. There's some wild motherfuckers.
Your defensive players be looking at their hands like, I don't need you to play football. I think I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and lose a couple of
freak accident. Another freak. I mean, at least he's gonna keep his fingers, unlike JP.
Right. But no,
he said it was
give me
reckless.
Well,
that's what they always say. Look, that's what Brady said as he jumped off a fucking cliff into the water. And we were just, oh, thank God you're alive. Oh, fuck, don't do that shit again. Don't do that again. But no, so walk me through this, Joel. Walk me through, like, how are you feeling going into this second half of the season?
I'm nervous because, like, I mean, it was a nice run.
Wait, Joel said that. Like, I got no faith in you guys. You did good.
It's not that. It's just, I don't know if it'll be as we'll go on another streak like that. I mean, I was unexpected to go in that kind of to have that kind of run. It was nice, and then
they have the number 4 remaining strength of schedule, by the way.
They have number 4, and what do we have? Fuck me. And
guess who has number 1?
Dolphins.
No.
Fuck. Who?
Green Bay.
Well, I mean, they're done at this point. They're fishing.
Yeah, but it's still just wild. Damn.
They're fishing for whatever that young wide receiver is that's going to be the best in that draft. That's what Green Bay is hunting for. Only for that team to go, yeah, we're going to take a nose tackle.
I was going to say, they're going to go nose tackle or something.
Nose tackle? Yeah, let's no tackle number 1. Aaron's like, I'm
Lil
sorry.
Wayne gave
wait,
up
what?
on Aaron Rodgers for the year.
Oh, it's the same Lil Wayne that called out Luka only for Luka to shit all over his Phoenix Suns. Maybe Lil Wayne should stop talking. Maybe he should.
I mean, he's been a pretty consistent Packer fan for years.
He's been a pretty consistent Luka hater and Phoenix Suns fan, and that's not boded well for him. So just leave the tweeting to a minimum. Maybe see if they can get themselves out of it. No, I mean, so Giants having the 4th strongest schedule. To me, Joel, the reason why when I saw that I didn't go, oh, shit, this might be a little dangerous, is a lot of those games are divisional. You haven't finished any of your divisional games yet. So you got to play the Eagles twice. You got to play Dallas one more and Washington one more.
They've lost twice.
Right? So I'm like, I think you have a shot at beating Dallas. You almost beat them last time. Right?
Yeah.
And let's be real. Dak Prescott doesn't give them a tremendous boost over what they did last time. Washington, even though I told you guys that fucking kid
was the last time the league saw that. The one,
right, that's true. But that fucking kid, Taylor Heineke, I told y'all that kid's the real deal.
That's good, man.
So it's gonna be interesting to see you guys play that. But again, I think you guys should kind of just look at your offense the way that the Eagles look at theirs, right? So where you just go, essentially, just give it to your best player and allow them to kind of carry you home. So your best player this year has been Saquon. To me, don't run him into the ground, but just find more creative ways to put the ball in his hand to allow him to make smart decisions to get you guys easy yards.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not worried about game planning. It's just as long as you don't turn the ball over in special teams. That'd be nice. Well, if Kenny Galladay can give us anything in the second half of the season, that'd be great. I mean, it'd be nice to earn some of that money.
Picture if he decides to show up to work. Like, how great would that be for you guys?
God forbid.
Right?
Just do something. So you poke it. Please just do something.
Just something, please. Please have a pulse on somewhere there.
If you can just do something, I'm excited to see Kenny Galladay play. That's how bad our receiving core is right now. It sucks. And we're dealing with a couple injuries, and it's just like, as long as we play smart, we'll squeak out some of these games. But it's not gonna be. Obviously, it's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be tough. We're at 6 wins, so
yeah. To me, I think your eyes should be on that maintaining that second seed.
My goal is to split each divisional game. If I could do that, I'll be happy.
That would put you where you need to be. That would put you right where you need to be. Because I don't see that. I see the Eagles. The Eagles won't go undefeated. The games that they'll lose will be divisional games. I believe those will be the ones that'll trip them up the most. Mainly because as good as the Eagles are playing, when Micah comes to town, there'll be a lot of shit. There's gonna be a lot of shit when Micah double backs. When he double backs around. But no, I think the Giants will be fine. I think you'll handle what you need to handle within your division. And it's those outside division games that you guys got to pay close attention to. Make sure you don't get tripped up by.
But, you don't want to do that. We got Texans.
I think you guys will be cool.
So we'll see. I mean, I have high hopes, but also try to keep it realistic. We're dealing with a lot of shit right now.
Don't let that be a trap game. And the Texans would be a legit trap game.
Oh, they gave it to Philly. So
well, again, I think Philly has a lot of holes. It's just the problem is at the end of the day, again, this is what I told my dad. I believe a lot of the problems of good teams and bad teams comes down to Philly emerge from that game. Why? They have A.J. Brown. The Texans do not. I think it's just really as simple as that. So if you feel as though you have the best player on that field, it just comes down to whether or not, how do you utilize it? Because at the end of the day, they do not have a player on that team that I think is better than Saquon Barkley. Even though Brandon Cook should be and is deeply underrated, you guys just do have the better player in Saquon than anybody they have on their team.
Well,
just got to go out there and show that. Just got to go out there and show that. But I did hear an analyst talking the other day about how wildly underrated Brandon Cooks is. But to me, I don't think he's underrated. I think the problem is he keeps unfortunately playing on teams with sucky-ass quarterbacks. Because I think people were rating him properly when he was in New England. They were rating him properly when he was in New Orleans with Drew Brees. they were rating him properly when he went to the Super Bowl with the Rams. It's just when you play with a horrible quarterback that can't get you the football, what am I rating you? I can't rate you amongst the best when you had 15 yards this game, and it's not your fault, but it's like, well, I can't. Well, just rate it off of potential. No, man, you got to go get the yards. Good quarterback, bad quarterback. You got to go get the yards, and if you can't, I don't know where you want me to rate you. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't think he's underrated. I think if he gets out of playing with a bad quarterback, I think he'll be right in that conversation. Like whatever that mid-tier is heading into that top 5, I think he could make a case for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's a bad wide receiver. Go ahead, Didge. I'm sorry.
I'm 50-50 on it because I was going to say he's just not healthy enough, but I think it's not that because he hasn't missed a game. He just
right.
So he is underrated in the fact that I couldn't even remember the man was playing every game. That's why that single-handedly made me 50-50 because I was sure it was because of like a health-related reason.
Right.
But I guess it is also he's playing on bad teams because I don't watch Texans games, let's be honest.
And
so
Davis Mills
I just thought he's
not a
not a quarterback.
Yeah. Right. But okay, so let me separate it so I give you a better example of what I'm trying to say. I think Jacoby Myers is an underrated wide receiver. I think you put Jacoby Myers on any team, Jacoby Myers can go get you numbers, right? I think the difference is Brandon Cooks is a household name that we know of because he's been on so many good teams. It's just you get buried because the league has gotten bigger with the wide receiver talent, and you're on a really shitty team with a really average.
Well, he had over 1,000 last year. He had over 1,000 yards last year. He had 90 receptions and over 1,000 yards.
But he went between. Didn't Deshaun Watson play some games last year?
No,
he didn't play. Oh, he sat out last year. That's right. He sat out. No, they had another kid that wasn't Davis Mills. They had another kid that was playing.
Now that I don't know.
Pretty good. That other kid was pretty good because he gave us the business last year, I think. Yeah, double check that for me.
Tyrod played 6 games.
Right. But I thought there was somebody else. Was Davis Mills who I'm thinking of?
Davis Mills played.
And that's who I'm thinking of, yeah.
He just
played really well
heavily this year.
Yeah, then that's what it was. And that's what it
was. He came back to reality is what happened, right?
That's what his feet touched the ground. That's what happened.
I refuse to believe that like I said, Tyrod played about 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
So I refuse to believe Brandon Cooks got most of his yards in those 6 games.
Right.
And that Davis Mills just didn't do anything with them. So I think he just regressed this year. Gotcha. Davis Mills, I'm talking about. And because his numbers aren't anywhere near to what they were going to be last year. But that's also talking about how Davis Mills' numbers are nowhere near what they were going to be last year.
Right. Okay. I'm with you there. All right, Didge, I'm passing it to you. New England, 2nd, as you said, right? Toughest remaining schedule.
Do I still have
it up? Go ahead and let our listeners know again why you don't want to just tank for a better quarterback. Like, go ahead, let us know.
Because these games are still winnable. The Vikings game is definitely going to be tough. I'll give you that.
Right.
I think this Sunday showed that the Bills are beatable. So that we can win that. Okay. We've already beat the Jets once.
Okay.
And they have to come to Gillette.
Okay.
Same.
Which hasn't really meant shit this year, but okay.
Yeah, it's meant more than going on the road, but I think our schedule is tough. I'm not gonna discount that, but I think every single one of these games are still winnable.
And just remind us, Didge, because our audience doesn't know, but we played Miami once this year, right?
Yeah.
We win that game?
In Miami, we traditionally do bad in Miami. Even when we have amazing teams, we traditionally do bad in Miami.
We got to play Miami again, though, right?
And that's cool. We can still beat them.
And you think it'll fare differently this time?
I do. I think our defense is playing a lot better than they were playing that first game. But
defense wasn't the problem. We couldn't score.
Yeah, well,
we couldn't
our
score.
Defense can score.
Wait, Joel, the man who said he does not want to get rid of Mac Jones just said, well, fucking offense. My defense will put up points. I just want to remind our audience of that. Okay, no problem. No problem. Just make sure we're on the same page. Okay.
I also didn't say I didn't want to give up Mac Jones. You asked me what I would give him up for Jared Goff. That was the question.
But you don't want to tank for a better quarterback.
We don't tank. I don't like tanking.
But where else do you think we'll get a better quarterback?
I don't like to. Our last Hall of Fame quarterback, we got him in the 6th round. So don't tell me.
And have you seen that done again since then?
But don't tell me. Don't ever. You can't tell me. You can't tell me that. Oh, you can't get a quarterback unless he's number 1 overall pick. How many number 1 overall picks don't do anything? Need I remind you of Jamarcus Russell?
Fair. That's fair.
I love how that's the first name everyone brings up.
Well, I mean, because it's just unanimously known. It's one of those. Well, yeah. I mean, besides him and that fucking kicker that the Raiders drafted.
I mean, okay, we didn't have to go to Jamarcus Russell. Jamarcus Russell. Do I have to remind you of David Carr?
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think the Carr family would like that, but yeah, that's fair.
So it's one of those things where tanking in general, like
no, you know what?
Don't go out there and
you're absolutely right. Do me a favor, Didge, just for our audience, because me, you, and Joel know this. So just for our audience, do me a favor. Let me know at what position in the draft did we draft our current quarterback in?
It was 15.
Oh, okay. No problem. So middle of the road.
Hold on. Before that though, what position in the draft was Lamar Jackson drafted?
Second.
Oh, that's different. That's different. You can make a case that Raven. Yes, because you can make a case that the teams that needed a quarterback got their quarterback within the first 1 to 10. So by that point, it was just at that point, if you're the Ravens, are you moving on from Joe Flacco? And that's what they came down to. They were like, yeah, we are. And that's when they took
So a team can find a quarterback outside of that top 10 is what you're saying. Is my point.
Sure.
So, okay, so what are we
but
talking
when
about
we did go fishing outside of top 10, we're on a quarterback that in the second year we're talking about we're ready to move on from. So what I'm saying is that there's a balance.
You're talking about you're ready to move on from.
You still want to keep this motherfucker?
It's second year. Give it a chance. This is the same league that again, we've seen quarterbacks time and time again. You get written off too early and they go to their second or third team and they start balling. So it's one of those things.
This motherfucker out of here. I'll take that risk. We let Brady go. That motherfucker went and won a Super Bowl. So we've dealt with worse. It's okay. Like, it's okay. If he goes and wins one, no problem. No problem. We just did that. We moved on from a guy. We said, fuck you. You don't got it no more. And he went and won a Super Bowl. So it's happened to us. It's okay. We can do it again. It's no problem.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's the NFL. They're too short of a leash on everything. And fans would be one of the first ones to argue, oh, it's been a year, throw it all away, like, or let some shit develop. Like,
I'm just waiting to see what the development is because he looks like he regressed from last year.
Okay, and if that ends up being the case, then we move on later. But don't tank. Tanking, like,
oh my God, what did I'm saying? Tank because he's not good.
We're literally in the playoff. We're literally in the middle of a playoff race. Like, we can still go to the playoffs this year. So what's the point of throwing all of that away just to be like, oh yeah, because like it doesn't make sense.
Because my problem is, Didge, we've had a year where we said, you know what, our defense is phenomenal. They'll just do what needs to be done and lead the way. And then it came up, well, now your quarterback has to shine. Wasn't able to. So to me, just get on from it. Get on from it.
And unless Aaron Rodgers is coming to New England, what are we really talking? It's a year. Like, are you that you? It's really because you've been spoiled from the New England that you've had the past 20 years. But it's like it's 1 year.
No, it's because he's regressed tremendously.
It's been 1 year. Players. It's called a sophomore slump for a reason because a lot of quarterbacks have a sophomore slump. So it's not one. It's one of those things where it's one bad year and you're like, oh, the world's ending. Like,
right,
come on, what are we really talking about?
Do me this favor. What's the one good thing that he's shown you so far this year?
He's made plays in moments where we've needed him at times. Like, it's not a phenomenal year. It's been a rough year. I get that. But again, it's been 1 year. Like, what are we really going to blow up the world over?
I have one thing.
1 year.
So, all right. So if he looks as bad next year, you'll say it's just 2 years. Give him one more. Let's give him his full contract.
I didn't say that. Now you're just throwing words in my mouth because apparently we got to blow up the world for 1 year.
What would you do to tank?
It's really fucking bad. Say it again.
What would you do to tank? What would be your decision? Sit the bench? I mean, sit the D? Just like play all bench?
No. What I would do to tank is to continue to fucking put that worthless motherfucker out.
I mean, that's what they're doing.
Don't put Zappy back. That's what I'm saying. Let's just fully buy into it. Don't try anything different.
What the hell are you even talking about then?
Because I want to lose so I can get a better quarterback.
But you're winning right now.
You want to win. Yes, right now. But there's a good chance that in this hard schedule, we lose. That's what I want. I just want to lose.
I'm never going to pray on my team to lose. That is bad. I'm never going to pray on my team to lose. I want a better quarterback.
That's the only way we'll get a better one. How are we going to get a better one?
Is it? Because, again, the Ravens got their quarterback by being the 32nd pick. The Seahawks got a quarterback that won them a Super Bowl in the 3rd round. So
that was such a hidden gem. Such a hidden gem. That's rare.
But it's happened to us. Why? Like it's so asinine to be like you got to be top 10.
Because
top 10 quarterback doesn't mean success. Mitchell Trubisky was a top 10 quarterback. Where is he at on his 13? Mm-hmm. So like, what are we really talking about?
What was Josh Allen
about? Like,
what was Josh Allen?
Top 10 quarterback?
No, it was 3.
Cool. What? 1-1.
What was Joe Burrow?
What was Joe Burrow?
What was Joe Burrow?
You want me to name you all the top 10 busts?
What was Joe Burrow?
Do we really want to go down?
What was Joe Burrow?
Because he was a top 10, like Achilles Hill. Like we can go down these top. We can go down these top 10 busts. Like
what was Mac Jones? All right, exactly. Thank you.
He was 15. He wasn't top 10.
No, but he's looking busty.
Top 10 is what you need.
Looking busty. He's looking busty in that middle of the road.
It's second year.
All right. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I want a better quarterback. Only way to get him is through the draft. So then, fine. You want to win out? No problem. Then still draft me a fucking quarterback.
That's fine. You're talking
okay
about
with that?
tanking.
I mean, no. I mean high. Don't try to figure out a way to make it work for Mac Jones. Move on from Mac Jones. Draft me a quarterback.
That's dumb. I'm not going to give up on a player off. I'm not giving up on a player after 2 years. That's stupid.
So then why would you draft a quarterback then, DIdge?
They draft quarterbacks all the time.
No. A quarterback in his second. They drafted one in his first year. And then you want to draft one in his second year? That means you're setting the table up for the possible success.
What round was he?
Zappy was 4th round.
Zappy was 4th round. Yeah. But you still went out and drafted a quarterback, which that was not a need of yours.
4th round quarterback.
It was a 4th round pick.
Yes, when you could have gotten anything else. Maybe an offensive lineman. That would have been nice.
I mean, Zappy might be good.
A wide receiver. He might be good, but the only way we know that, Joel, is if we fucking moved on from
We
Mac
don't need to move
Jones.
on from a player in his second year. And a top
player
10 quarterback
in his first year already looked better than a player in his second year. That's all.
And a top 10 quarterback is not going to it's not going to guarantee you success.
Get you better odds.
Well, yeah, what
does it? Because Keely Smith wasn't good odds. Ryan Leaf wasn't good.
Odds.
Like I can continue to go down these top 10 quarterbacks.
Jamar Chase was what? Number one pick.
Was he a quarterback? Oh man, Jamar Chase played quarterback now because you were saying quarterback. You were saying draft.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You know what? At this point, fuck it. Give me a top 5 pick, any fucking position that makes this team better. I'll take that. How about that? You give me that?
That's a completely different situation.
If you give me that, then
if you're saying put people around him, that's a completely different question.
No, I did not say that. I don't want to put nothing around Mac Jones. I want you to draft me a top 5 player that can make that team better. Mac Jones doesn't have to be on my roster.
That's dumb.
Bailey Zappi could be my quarterback.
That's dumb.
I'm just saying, Bailey Zappi could be my quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
That's
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Shit, the media, Joel knows this. The media was ready to move on from Daniel Jones in year one. Year one.
Trash. So.
Year one. But what was my defense? What was my defense, Joel? My defense was you didn't put this kid in the best scenario ever. We spent the highest fucking payroll on receiving talent. And this motherfucker is struggling. Struggling.
Didn't we just talk about how we don't have good receivers?
No, I don't think it's the problem that we don't have good receivers.
Okay.
I think the problem is he has not made good decisions this season. He has not made good decisions. DIdge, I watch him. The man has one read and goes down. They said it during the broadcast Sunday. You got to have your checkdowns. The man doesn't even have any checkdowns. No checkdowns. None. That's a regression. That's not just your typical sophomore slump. That means you're panicking when you hike that football.
All right.
That's my problem. You have the talent there. You have it. Kendrick Bourne is a talent. He had almost 1,000 yards last year. We're going to believe he regressed? Jacoby Myers had 1,000 yards. We're going to believe he regressed?
All right. It's
Parker
tough to say.
there?
Like I said, it
It does not seem like Parker seems like he only catches the ball that's uncatchable. You throw that motherfucker a random football wide open, can't corral that shit in. He can catch this shit over 6 motherfuckers, though. He can spider leg it. Those are his best catches this year. He can do that. Anything else, he's fucking struggling. Right now, he's out with an injury.
Does Aguilar play?
Say it again.
And Nelson Aguilar, is he still playing up there?
Oh, no, that motherfucker was benched. That motherfucker went down on the depth chart. Yeah, he went down in the depth chart.
So
down
what,
in the depth
Parker
chart.
Myers, who else is who's starting?
Parker, Myers, Kendrick Bourne. I think we got that fucking kid that Bill was saying was a tight end. We got Tyquan Thornton. Jonnu, we use at different positions. Obviously, Hunter Henry and tight end.
Yeah.
We got Damian Harris. We have talent. The problem is that the problem is not we're lacking talent outside of our offensive line. That's where we're lacking talent. Lacking.
All right.
Yeah, but we have skill players. This isn't like the year Brady lost to the Titans where there were no skill players really anywhere that wasn't Julian Edelman. That was different. There was devoid of talent. We have talent now. It's just either the plays stop before they can actually run a route, or this motherfucker's taking sacks because he doesn't have his check downs. That's my issue. But all right, Didge, I'll relent to you. I'll relent to seeing how he plays out the rest of this year. But if he continues to look bad, you can't keep giving me it's just a sophomore slump. He has to show some kind of progression at some point. I'm not saying he has to churn out 50 touchdowns in the second half, but he just has to show that he's improving in areas. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see
So
how
if he can do
holds
that,
up too.
no problem. No. Don't get me wrong. I just said that. That line is fucking putrid. But that's why your checkdowns matter. There were times Brady didn't have. Say it again.
Is Andrews injured?
No, it's just a bad offensive line. It's just bad. It's just bad. But again, Didge, what did Brady make a lot of his money off of? Danny Woodhead, check down. Deion Lewis, check down. Edelman, check down. You got to have your check downs.
I get it.
And he doesn't have them. They're looking for too many big plays. And to me, you don't need those, man. Brady won Super Bowls off of dink and dunk. Fucking dink and dunk that shit, bro. Damian Harris is a catching back. Ramondre is a catching back.
Damian Harris is also hurt.
He wasn't hurt last week. I'm sorry, Sunday. He played. Oh, no. Yes, he was a scratch. Yeah. J.J. Taylor played. You're right. But I think even when he's healthy, I think their every down back is Ramondre. And they're going to use Damian as their Swiss Army.
He's too good. You can't bench him.
Problem is Damian Harris is too good. I guess they feel as though Ramondre's better. I can't really argue.
I think
man just runs angry. He just runs angry. And you can't ever bench that. You can't bench
better number.
That's fair. But yeah, I'll relent to you, Didge. I'll give it to you. But I just need to see some progression somewhere. I just need to. Again, I don't need to see him go from day to night to day. I just need to see areas where it looks like he's getting better. And so far, I have not seen that. Again, I won't hold that first game back against them because we believe he's still playing hurt, right? These last 2 weeks, you won, yes, and really that's all that matters. But how you win sometimes does matter because when you get to the playoffs, talent only gets increasingly better. You got to be able to score points. You just have to. We saw how the playoffs went in the AFC last year. You got to score. A
dominant defense can do a lot, but
unless that a lot is scoring. Look, I tell you what, Didge, if you tell me that this defense keeps opposing offenses to about 13 to 10 points, I'll give you that. Because I can go, Mac Jones can get us 14 points. He can get us 17 points. But if you're telling me I'm playing Mahomes, right now Tennessee was hot. Teams that can really run the ball, keep your offense on that sideline, you're going to have to be able to sling that thing to get yourself back in the games. I fear right now with how he's playing, slinging that thing to get us back in the games. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, they're keeping opponents to 18, so.
Mm-hmm. But again, you haven't played the Bills at all this year. You hadn't played the Chiefs, hadn't played the Titans. Like, you hadn't played some of these better AFC teams right now. So that's where it'll come into where it's like, well, what happens when you do? And don't forget this. If the Browns are able to keep themselves alive, Deshaun comes back. So you're talking about the quarterback going from Jacoby to Deshaun. That then elevates that team that's already playing better than it should right now. That's another team.
3-5. I don't know if they're playing better than they should.
That team should have not won a fucking game. And a lot of those games they lost, they were in it. It wasn't like they got blown off of the map. They were in it. Mistake here, mistake there. You know what I'm saying? But again, their problem comes down to quarterback. We don't think that's going to be the problem when Deshaun gets there, which should be soon. Wasn't he only spending like 9 games?
11.
It was 11?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, yeah. Their season might be over by then. I thought it was. I thought he was coming back like this upcoming week. Yeah, it's a wrap for them. Never mind. My bad. Take that back. Take that back. But all right. So we'll see how that all pans out. But all right, let's move to basketball. Now, Joel, I'm going to start with you on this one. Who so far has been the MVP in the league?
It is way too early to be talking about this.
No, because I think you've been seeing a bunch of players be really, really, really dominant that I don't see slowing down as the year progresses. Now, if it's one of those guys that's playing out of his means, I'll give you that. It's early. But the Giannis's, the Lukas, the Jason Tatum's, Donovan Mitchell, these are guys I think have the legs to continue this.
Yeah, that's my list right now. I think it is Giannis. But right under that, I would have Tatum and Mitchell on his tail.
Okay. I'm going to go, and this is purely, let me be very clear, purely for the sake of parity. I'm going Donovan Mitchell because it seems like he has elevated that team to championship aspirations. A team that if they didn't have Donovan and made a top 5-6 seed, we would say, oh, shit. Garland took a huge step forward, or fucking Mobley took a huge step forward, or LeVert took a huge step forward. So with Donovan, I think he launches them in a whole new stratosphere. And I think Donovan could, in this season, maybe a top 2 seed in the East. Could end this team in a top 2 seed in the East. So to me, if Donovan could do that, I look at it, and Joel, you were telling me how wrong I was even looking at it back then. To me, when Melo brought the Knicks to the 2 seed and only got 1 fucking vote, to me, it's just like, bro, you could give it to LeBron every year. This isn't like, you don't look at Melo bringing the Knicks to the 2 seed as something that should be celebrated more. So to me, if the Cavaliers end as a top 2 seed and Donovan Mitchell is the workhorse behind that, to me, and again, I'm only saying for the sake of parity, because Giannis could win it every fucking year. That's a fair argument to make. To me, I think Donovan should definitely be the one looked at right now for MVP so far the league. But Didge, tell us why we're wrong and why it's the legend of Giannis the Wise.
I did say
Oh, you did say Giannis. I'm sorry, Joel. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I think it's Giannis because what game was it? Was it the first Pistons game? I think it was. Everybody, as a matter of fact, I can click on the game real quick. Everybody was telling me, because I was doing something that day and I just didn't watch the game. It was, oh man, Giannis had a terrible game. Giannis was out there looking bad. Giannis was out there looking awful. He had 34, 17, and 6. But that's a terrible game, apparently. And when your peers and everyone is saying you had a bad game when you're putting out numbers like that, I think it's far and above that you're the best player in the league. And yes, we lost yesterday. That was a tough loss, by the way.
Wait, let me ask you this really quickly, and I'm going to throw it right back to you. In basketball, isn't there? Can't you say that the MVP doesn't necessarily have to be the best player in the NBA? I asked that because Russell Westbrook won an MVP not being the best player in the NBA.
I think
yes, that's true.
I give you that, but I was going to say the second half of that would be, I think it's more so valuable to your team
Okay.
And this one, and that's where the second part of my what I was gonna say is coming from is we're doing what we're doing right now without two key pieces. And there's nothing you can tell me, and I don't think anyone would even try to say that we would be able to do it if Giannis wasn't there.
Right.
Oh, no.
So he is almost single-handedly, because I can't take away from Bobby, Drew, and Brooke are also still playing out of their minds. But Giannis is, it seems like he just took another step to say, I'm not going to have us start bad because we're losing Chris and Connaughton right now. So if we're talking just early in this league, I feel like it's just his sheer will to say, we are going to win. So that has to have him the most valuable into the team, the most valuable any team right now.
Yeah. Again, there's no disagreements from me. But again, I believe a player that you look at that could win it every year or has won it already. The first thing I'll look, unless the player is putting up just like buku numbers, like just insane Wilt Chamberlain numbers, right? Unless you're doing that, I look for whoever that number 2 is, and is the numbers comparable? Right? Is it comparable? And are they doing something out of the means of where that team was last year? Right? And I think Cleveland right now is the 2nd seed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2nd seed.
Yeah. So to
I
me,
think
I'm
they would
like
technically be 3rd seed because I think automatically 2nd seed doesn't it? Oh no, they do top 4. That's right. It's just top 4. I think automatically 2nd seed will go to the division winners.
Oh,
but I think they do top 4 in the. I think they do top 4 in the NBA.
Okay. So let's say they're 2nd seed, right? And I'm speaking as if they are. If they are 2nd seed, that big of a leap from where they were last year, and how they look like they're a contender. If he can keep this up, to me, that would be my winner. That would be my. I mean, it's the same way I looked at it last year for Joel Embiid. I'm like, the numbers were comparable, right? And to me, Jokic had just won it. So I then go to whoever's number 2. If the numbers are comparable, I'm going to go for the sake of parity. I just am, right? I just am. Because if LeBron didn't get it every year and Jordan didn't get it every year, clearly parity was a thing. So to me, that's what you won it so close. I mean, so recently. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's what I would go with. But again, you saying Giannis, of course I don't have an argument against that. Of course not. But I would just say if the numbers are even remotely comparable, I would look at that number 2 pick, whoever is sitting at that 2nd spot in the MVP ladder. But all right, let's move to our next topic. All right, next topic. All right, there's been murmurs that Lakers might be thinking about shopping AD, and there's been murmurs that there has been some aggression in the locker room between Cat and Ant. So, DIdge, I'm going to start with you. Should the Lakers and or Minnesota be looking to shop their young stars, or is it just way too goddamn early?
It's way too early. We're 12 games in for most teams. I think at the most. I think the Jazz have played the most games. You can't make, unless you just feel like everything is a wash. Like for the Lakers, sure, you have a more reason to say, sure, that we need to do something now because you just looked out of sorts all year. But for the Timberwolves, it's like I think you're right around 500 in a West where I know the Jazz are the number 1 seed in the West. I think they've lost. Yeah, okay. So the Wizards are either 6-6 or 5-6. I know they have 6 losses. I just don't know how many wins they have. So you're still very much in the thick of it. Hell, the Lakers are very much in it is early, is my main point. It is 12 games in the season at most. You shouldn't be trying to cause panic right now.
Okay. I don't disagree with that, but I will say the Lakers right now are stagnant. Minnesota right now, very stagnant. To me, unless either one of you could find your identity soon, to me it should be something. Again, I'm not saying I'm calling teams to say, hey, I don't want this guy here. You want him? What package can you get me? I just think that if the conversation is brought up, no matter how early it is, I don't think you should be turning away any phone calls. I think you should entertain it. You should entertain it. You should 100% entertain it. See if something good. Right now, if you're the Lakers, you don't have a number one till what? 2027, 2029? Some shit like that?
Something like that.
To me, at this point, it does not look like LeBron can kick it into another gear. It does not look like Anthony Davis can stay healthy. So right now, if I was the Lakers, I would want to pull the trigger on that trade before he becomes street clothes, right? Before he devalues himself, right? And if you're Minnesota, I will give you Minnesota, DIdge, because they're so young, right? It's not like, hey, your window's right now, right? But if there is a little bit of dissension between your two stars, to me, that's something you should either squash with them now or make a decision on who you want to be your face going forward. And clearly that answer is Anthony Edwards. Like, that's not even a question to be entertained. That's Anthony Edwards' team. I love Cat to death. Jersey zone. That is Anthony Edwards' team. Sorry. It's the same thing with Julius Randle and RJ. No matter how well Julius plays, it is RJ's team. The future of that team is RJ. It's just how it goes. Right? It's just how it goes.
Fair.
You know? So for me, it's just the idea of, I think you should entertain it. I'm not saying you got to pull the trigger on it right now, but you should entertain it. That's for sure. But I will give you Minnesota because they're so goddamn young that what are you rushing for? Like, what are you afraid of? Like, your window closes? No. A lot of what's so big in the West, they're getting older.
Right.
Right? They're getting older. At some point, the law of averages will just say, well, your guys will become their age by the time they're looking to retire. It'll be your league, right? Hopefully you'll have gotten that much better. You could have taken over the league. So to me, I'm with you, and you don't have to rush that decision. But again, with how stagnant they've looked, I mean, DIdge, we just talked about it. We saw Anthony Edwards not even get involved in a play. Watch the play happen around
That
him.
was wild.
On the court. Because I know people are like, well, yeah, that's what you do from the bench. No. He was in the play and moved not once.
That was so wild. Like, I don't even know.
So for me, I think there is some truth to the murmurs that there's something going on between the two of them. And it did not help that Karl Anthony Towns came out and outed his fellow teammate to the media, you know, for something that could have just been said behind closed doors. So I do think it's nothing you have to do immediately, but it is something you should entertain. Which, by the way, shout out to Utah that we thought would tank for Worcestershire sauce. But goddamn, if they don't look like they're good. Like,
I think
they're good.
I still think they are. I think they are tanking, and they're probably in their front office probably fuck.
They're like, we didn't trade away enough. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Right now, you know what they're finding out, DIdge? They're finding out that they had hidden gems that didn't get enough minutes because of the stars. You're like, well, where the fuck did you come from?
They're the only team that's going in after a win and going, what the fuck was that, guys? I don't like this effort. Like, Coach, but we won. Like, no.
I just did. When you say that, I'm just picturing them hugging the coach. Get the fuck off me. What is wrong with y'all? We said lose. Lose. Do you not see this kid? You not see what he's doing over there? We want that.
He had 30 points last night in 3 quarters.
We want
just
that,
going off.
okay? Like, we don't want none of you. We want that kid. Fuck. Meanwhile, you see Golden State like, hey, we're looking to get rid of Draymond. Tanking last time worked for us. You gotta lose a couple games, Steph. Gotta lose a couple games. Take it easy. Take it a little easy. See if we can get that kid.
Kirk called
right?
Steph in. Like, hey, how many more rings you want to win?
All
right.
No. He called Steph in and said, hey, that was a nice ring we got last year, right? Yeah, love that ring. All right, that might be the last one you get for a little bit. We're going to go ahead and chase this kid. We'll get this kid overseas. We're going to go ahead and get that kid. Just relax a little bit. You like playing with Durant, right? Yeah, I loved it. All right, well, this is Durant 2.0, so we're going to go get that. All right, you relax a little bit. But shout out to Steph for that dagger that he hit on the Kings last night. God damn.
Yeah,
that was
he
a
had like
dagger.
37, or was it 47?
Yeah. He's trying to get that MVP this year. He don't give a fuck about a ring.
Okay.
He's trying to get that MVP this year.
It's terrible right now.
It really is. And you know what I think it is, Joel? I think it is the idea of a lot of those kids that took the role of a reserve last year because they weren't needed as much are now needed they kind of don't know how to live up to that yet. Like they have to grow into it. And again, you know what it looks like? It looks like they were like, hey, Wiggins, you confused us last year with how great you played. You plan on doing that again this year? And he's like, oh, no, y'all paid me already. Yeah, no. I'm going to give you Minnesota Wiggins. I'm going to give you Minnesota Wiggins. The Wiggins that shows up when he wants. So,
Mini Wiggins.
You guys fucked yourselves. But no.
I do want to say, I do have currently Lowry Markkinen as the most improved player.
Oh, I wouldn't disagree with that. Yeah, I wouldn't.
The funny thing is, he was doing that during summer, like during the
Summer League.
Not Summer League.
The Euro League.
Yeah, it's not Euro League, but yeah, I know what you mean. Those World Games in Europe. The Euro Cup or whatever it was. Yeah, he was killing it for Finland, and he carried that shit over to Utah. Who thought?
Wait, Markkinen from Finland? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought there was a good player somewhere in there, right?
And you're playing him like Chicago did. He's playing small forward right now.
Yep, and he's thriving in it. Somebody else I think we need to keep an eye on.
Sorry.
And Joel will not agree with this, so Joel's not in this conversation. I'm having it with you, DIdge. A player that I'm looking out for most improved is Kristaps. Kristaps is playing pretty well with Bradley Beal over there in Washington. I'm just saying.
Hear about Washington.
I'm just saying it's a name to think about.
Marketing nothing right now.
Save my man Bradley Beal from his own loyalty.
Nah, you can't save somebody from blind loyalty. That motherfucker need to open his eyes. The fuck? They tell him to stay there.
You gotta sneak him out like a hostage situation. We got you. You'll be all right, bro. You're gonna be all right.
You blindfold him, right? And it's like, hey, you ready to play? It's like, yeah, man, why'd you blindfold me? He looks down. Why does this say Lakers? Just we had to save you. Bradley, we had to save you, man. It was for your own good. Don't worry. Just play. Shoot the ball. But yeah, no, Joe, I like that you brought that up because he is balling. But I think all three of us always thought he was a good player. You know what I'm saying? And it was the idea of unlocking it. Unlocking it. Right now, it looks like he's unlocking it. We'll see if it holds up. But I like what I'm saying right now. I'm with you there, Joel. But because, Joel, you are very last minute if you can when it comes to panicking. So when you look at the AD and Cat situations, how do you look at those situations? Are those teams that should be looking to sell with their two big men, or do you think that at some point something can be fixed to kind of put the season back on track to where it needs to be?
I do think it's too early for Minnesota to be thinking about breaking the shit up. Maybe by trade deadline if shit is worse.
Let me ask you really quickly. Do you feel as though from the game we played Minnesota in, does it just feel like they're just stagnant? Like there's no go-to. Like it's just, and it shouldn't be when you got two players as great as Ant and Cat. It shouldn't be that stagnant.
But they are very different players,
They are. They really are.
Yeah.
They really are.
It's not like Cat was that strong piece to begin with, and then Ant's very strong personality was kind of like you can't really tell if he's being serious or not.
Minnesota already felt like a slowish team, and then I feel like you got slower by adding Gobert.
But Gobert didn't play.
Oh, you 100% did. No, he
did
not
just saying,
play.
I'm just saying in general though, like
no, I agree. I agree with
even
you.
with Ant, like Ant, even though he's a shooting guard, he feels like if you would have just said, like, hey, what position you think Anthony Edwards play? I'd probably say like small forward.
But you know what's also
Probably
funny?
play some power forward every time.
Most of last year.
You know what's also funny about what you're saying, and I'm going to kick it right back to you, Joel. What's funny about what you're saying is, DIdge, is I'm waiting for the moment for Rudy Gobert to feel like the piece that they needed him to be. And the problem is he'll never feel like that piece till the playoffs. But if you keep fucking playing like this, you won't get to the playoffs. So it's like you went through all that to trade for a piece that is – it's like in football where it's a trade deadline and you get that receiver, right? That quarterback just needed that receiver. But it's because it's a playoff push move. Rudy Gobert to me would have been a move I would have okayed them making last year, right? You're heading into the playoffs. You need somebody against Steven Adams in that first round, knowing that you're going to play somebody like Steven Adams in that first round. Rudy Gobert is the piece you went all in on. No problem. But to start the season with, The fuck do you think he adds to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it.
I just think it needs time, and then if it doesn't work, and then you break it up. But it's an adjustment. But to me, I don't know why it's such a big adjustment because I can't imagine what Gobert does and what Vanderbilt did are very different. And Gobert should be doing it better. So it's like
right.
It's just crazy. But don't get me wrong. Vanderbilt's been working great for Utah as the starting center. So they didn't lose beat. I don't know about Minnesota, but maybe Vanderbilt was the key piece.
That's what it was. But no. So you think it's too early for Minnesota?
Yeah, that's a big chance to go double twin tower like that. Maybe it is just adjusting. But I don't think it's the gameplay that's going to be the issue. I think it's the personalities. If they can't weather the storm without killing each other first, because it's just going to happen. Adversity is going to come and go. You know, I'm not sure they have the temperament. I don't know if they like each other. So it's that's the issue.
That's the big part. That's what I've been hearing a lot about is that they don't. But my problem with you saying it's an adjustment period, it's the idea of. The reason why I have a problem with it being an adjustment, if that is what the true problem is with adding Rudy Gobert, is that he doesn't do anything that alters your game plan. He's your defensive anchor, so he doesn't do anything that alters what Cat can do, or anything that Ant can do. So it's like by adding him, it should be something that helps, not hinders. So if you're struggling, I think the struggling is coming between your two stars. Butting heads,
yeah.
Right.
But I think that's what it's also going onto the court.
Right.
You know what I mean? I do believe it's playing a factor in on the court issues. I think that's really the issue, not so much that they can't figure it out. I think they will eventually figure it out because I think they are that's a good team there. It's just they have to realize it.
I think Anthony Edwards, and I might be too early on this, so I'll go ahead and throw that out there now. I think that man possesses a generational talent, right? And Cat is an all-star. There's no reason why this should not be working, right away. This isn't your first year playing. Right. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just because you two don't like each other, and apparently you don't have a strong enough head coach to force you into playing through that shit. Right? Shaq and Kobe didn't like each other a lot. Fucking went and won some rings, right? Got some rings out of that hate, right? Till they didn't. To me, you at least got to win some shit before you let that really truly become a problem.
Starting five should do more, should do better.
Right.
They're still kind of soft, which is weird.
Patrick Beverly was the lion of that
helps.
Locker room.
Yeah, because he was a vocal and he was aggressive, and they kind of lost that, even though they got Gobert, and McDaniel was a good defender.
Look. You know what they also lost, and obviously they haven't had it for a long time, but remember what made Cat into a better player last time he was going through soft problems? Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler said, hey, you a bitch or not? And it's like, no, I'm not no bitch. All right, play it like it. Like it.
Yeah. You need someone out there that's vocal and aggressive to motivate the team to be more aggressive. That's what it is. You know?
Right. And Rudy ain't that. And all you gave up to get him.
Maybe they need Jay Crowder, right?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Who's their small forward right now?
McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels. Yeah. You can rotate his ass out. Yeah, you go ahead and rotate his ass out for Jay Crowder. Maybe Jay Crowder's what might do it. But at the end of the day, at some point, you are going to either have to tell Ant to bend the knee or Cat to bend the knee. And what's going to be hard about telling Ant to bend the knee is that he is. And again, it might not be showing right now, but he is the better player of the two. So it's hard to tell your better player, hey,
work together. I mean, that's all you need to do. Be coordinated.
No, because look, every time stars come and play with other stars, what did Steph say? Steph said when Durant came, take it, my dude. Dwayne Wade said when LeBron came, take it, my dude.
They had to be more
Shaq
humble.
said when he came to Miami, he told Dwayne Wade, take it, my dude. I'm tired of this shit. You take it. You lead it. You lead the way, right? Somebody has been that neat, and the reason why, and we even said, Joel, is we go to the our next. I'm gonna let you answer the AD thing before we move on, but we even said it between RJ and Randall that it's hard seeing them play together But the thing that makes it even harder is the player that we want to take over the team is just not aggressive enough of a personality to demand that. So it'll always be Julius Randle until he's not on the team, right?
He's dominant, like a dominant personality.
Exactly. So that's the problem when we look at those two. But to me, it shouldn't be a problem with Anthony Edwards and Cat because Cat is not a dominant personality, but Ant is. And that's where it seems to be the problem. But all right, walk me through Anthony Davis, Joel. And do you think it's time to kind of just blow that up? Because it doesn't look like you can sell off Russell Westbrook. You're not going to be able to make that trade for Kyrie right now. Not in this climate. Not in this climate. But that's why that should be an attractive contract. It's that you only have the 1 year left.
You think, but it's
right. But it's not. Right. So is it too early for them? Or should they just say, you know what, LeBron, we fucked it up. Sorry.
I want to say it's too early, but
it's tough for them, man.
Yeah, they're much farther away because it's
really quickly. I know how we can help them, Joel. I just solved the Lakers' problems. Here you go, Lakers.
Here's you finna give them a bullshit trade.
Lakers fans, it's not a bullshit trade.
Lakers fans, beware.
Just listen.
Lakers fans, beware.
Listen, and Joel, I think you'll agree with me, right? You ready? Here we go. Evan Fournier, Julius Randle, 2 first-round picks for LeBron James. There you go. Boom.
I told you it was going to be a bullshit trade.
Boom. Problem solved. Knicks go win a few championships as LeBron retires. Lakers rebuild. Boom. There you go. End of the story.
Lakers fans, remember when I told you beware? That's what I meant.
Joel, is that not a fair trade?
No, it's not fair.
With how LeBron's playing right now, that's not fair. Julius is playing better than LeBron right now.
But it's still playing good. The team's not good.
There you go. Come to a better team. There you go. Problem solved. LeBron around those shooters we got?
It's not like we have the best shooters.
Better than LA?
Everyone has better shooters than LA.
Yeah, I was going to say, you said that like that was.
You said that like the rest of the league wasn't better.
Like I was supposed to be like, man, LA got some shooters out there. Like,
but they're starting Troy Brown. Nobody starts Troy Brown.
The way you said that was so disrespectful.
That was.
I know, but if you think about
he's sorry, Troy Brown.
Troy Brown,
we don't mean
Troy
that.
Brown is so happy right now. That he's like everyone else sucks. It's me or nobody.
No, you know who's really feels that? THT. That motherfucker's balling out of his mind cells right now. He is so happy. Dunking on motherfuckers' lives, putting them in tombstones. He is loving life right now. But AD, you ready to give up on him, Joel, if you're the Lakers?
I think you got to think about it. Honestly, you got to really think hard. Like maybe this is not the way to go, with or without LeBron. You know?
And it's the best.
You're
way
not
to
giving up LeBron.
Draft capital.
You're not.
It's the best way to.
You're not giving up. LeBron might give up on you, but you don't give up.
LeBron might say I'm traded, but you'll never be able to say we traded LeBron. That's not how that works, buddy. I traded me. You didn't do shit. Yeah. But no, I think if you trade AD, right. I worked the deal myself behind the scenes. You didn't do shit. All right, you just shook hands. But no, I think getting rid of AD right now is your best way to recoup your loss of draft capital. It's your only way to do it. And right now, while he's playing really good basketball, this is the best time to unload AD, to get all that said draft capital, maybe try to get a couple of players back that could help out LeBron into just making the playoffs. And then you just reassess things in the offseason. Now that you have some draft capital, you have some players depending on where you send AD, you can maybe spend some of that shit to get better talent around LeBron in his last few years. That's really the best case. Because to me, if you just say, you know what, we'll wait till trade deadline. The way that man's knees and back be holding up, that's a really lengthy risk to be taking if you're the Lakers. Do you agree, Joel?
Yeah, that's it. I don't know if there's anything they can do that involves keeping your 3 biggest contracts.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Not even best player. I'm gonna say your biggest contract. You have no real supporting cast, at least not a healthy one, or one that can stay healthy. It's like they seem like a lost cause at the moment, and so at this point, you sit down with LeBron and you go, let's just sell. Like you sell.
You go, hey, we fucked up. We fucked up. Who do you want us to fire?
Sell it all.
Like, do you want to be our GM? Do you want to be our GM? We'll let you do it. You'll be our first ever player, coach, GM. If that's what you want, we'll let it happen, LeBron.
At the Lakers roster and go, what can I get for just some of this? And you're not going to get much. Only AD is valuable on this team.
No. That's not true. Russ is valuable, just not at what you want to get back for Russ. It's not what you want to get back for Russ. You're never gonna get. You can recoup it into a couple of players. You better be expecting no picks. You ain't getting any valuable picks. You ain't getting no picks out of that shit. You can get some players.
You might get contracts.
I was just looking to see what free agents are available. That's what they need to.
For the Lakers?
Just in general.
Problem is, a lot of those free agents they probably had last year. Trevor Ariza, Carmelo Anthony. Like, you had a lot of these guys.
They have Damian Jones on the bench and Bryant's for the fucking Dwight went to fucking Taiwan.
Yeah, you could use some of Dwight right now. Like, they're just saying no to a lot of what you can't afford to say no to. The fact that you didn't just run it back with Melo is very confusing to me. It's just better than anything else you have. Trevor Ariza, for the 2 points he would have given you a game, is better than what you have right now. These motherfuckers are running Matt Ryan out there.
Matt Ryan.
Not to confuse people. That is not the motherfucker that got benched for the Colts. Right. He didn't get benched in the Colts and then come play off the bench for the Lakers. That's not what happened. At this point, you just can't say no to talent. And that's what you're devoid of.
They're like half in, half out. Because, you know, they're like half of that sucky young team. Because they still have a couple young guys out there. Yes. Half that team that was like a championship team.
Yeah. And you're like, so they're doing what I wanted New England to do. They're playing like a team that wants to tank, but they're not tanking on purpose. Like, they're not trying to tank. You're just literally playing with the best you have.
Yeah, they're not trying to tank. They're just
right. That's what I'm saying. You're just playing with the best you have out there. But you're saying no to things that would make you better, which is why I'm saying it's like they're trying to tank without tanking.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's rough for the Lakers. I have nothing else to say. It's rough.
But we can all agree on this. We have no interest in seeing them get any better.
Yeah, no, I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean,
we can all shake hands on that. That's where we all unify at the end of the day, is right on that.
Rough life. That's all I got to say about that. It's just rough life.
Oh,
yeah, tough shit, dog. Tough shit. All right, our last topic, Didge, starting off with you, man. Run us through how your Bucks are looking so far this season.
Really good. I mean, I think I talked a lot about it during my plea for Giannis for early MVP.
Yep.
But, I mean, we're 9-1, I think, best record in the league still, even with the loss. And the thing that I like the most is, like I said, we're doing it without Middleton and Pat Connaughton.
And really without Ingles truly getting fully ingratiated yet.
Yeah, we don't know what you're going to get out of him yet.
We don't even know. Yeah, we don't know when he's going to even show up.
To me, all you ever need him to do is knock down wide open shots. And I kind of feel like that's something no one ever really truly loses. Unless your name's J.R. Smith. Then you just
But, you know, like I said, Bobby, I think he's averaging a double-double this year. Obviously, granted, it's early. But Bobby has been balling. Brook, at one point, he was leading the league in blocks. I think he still is, but
that motherfucker was making a case for Defensive Player of the Year. What the fuck is he doing?
Brook has been balling. Drew, like he has been everywhere, been a pest. And we have other players like Grayson Allen stepped up. Juwaan Carter and Jordan Noir.
Hey, that's your guy.
No, but you didn't say you're hitting Jim.
Juwaan Carter and Jordan Noir, you guys are doing some struggles. But I will say I'll take it because it seems like you're taking some of those minutes away from George Hill. George Hill, now you're getting a little bit too many minutes. I think you're still getting like 15 to 20 a game. We can knock some of them numbers down. We can get you to like the 10-15 range.
No, me and you all like George Hill. We like him for you guys.
Let's give some of them. Let's give some of those to Marjan and see what we can do with him. But like I said, for us to be doing what we're doing, missing two key pieces, it's beautiful. Like I love it.
All Yeah, you guys are looking dominant as expected. Giannis is looking dominant, and I expect Giannis to sit a lot of games once Chris Middleton really gets back. I expect that motherfucker to not be playing consistent back-to-backs. He will definitely say, "You do this shit now." But Joel,
and Serge. I want to see Serge do something. I don't know what's been up with him.
Yeah, I would love to see George Hill and Serge in your starting.
No, not George Hill. Yeah, Serge.
I would love.
I don't even need him starting. I just want to see him do some stuff.
No. I think that would be good for them to start. Let Giannis get some rest. Drew get some rest. You start George Hill and Ibaka. No,
we're good.
You don't agree? No, okay.
Nah.
All right, no problem. Joel, to end us out on the night, talk a little bit about the Knicks. They're over 500 right now. I think 5-4. Heading into the
I think they're 500.
Oh, you think they're 5-5? You're saying?
Yeah.
I do feel like every time I see them win the next game, I'm like, okay, yeah, they are 500.
Gotcha. So they're 5-5. I thought they were 5-4. My bad. All right, we're heading into I call it the basketball Subway Series. We're playing the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow. I like that. What are your thoughts on how the Knicks have looked so far this year? And please tell the audience why it's Jalen Brunson or bust.
Wait, what was the question?
I said your thoughts on the Knicks so far this season, and please let the audience know why it's Jalen Brunson or bust.
Or bust, yeah. Yeah, it really has. He's been great. He really has. I mean, he has his moments. We've had our moments as a team where things haven't looked great, but they've also looked good. And like I said, it was a great game. Good comeback, bounce back after that terrible game against Boston.
Yep.
Where Boston decided to let it actually rain threes. It was insane. I think it was a record amount of threes that they hit that game. And you can't come back. You can't win a game like that. But they came back the next game against Minnesota, and they actually showed effort on that side of the ball. So I appreciate that. We got to see more of the small ball lineup with Julius and Obi. I liked seeing that.
I did like that a lot.
Cam is getting starts now. Now a lot of that has to do with Grimes being hurt and Evan sucking. So good for Cam just to be in the lineup. I do like seeing him out there because he does give us defense, which is something we've lacked hard on the wing, especially with Evan in the floor. No offense to Evan, except he's a liability.
No offense. Offense, yeah. Take all the offense, bitch. Get better defensively.
Yeah.
like goddamn, it ain't hard. Fucking move your feet. Shuffle.
Easy.
Shuffle.
But the Knicks as a whole, we've literally been right in the middle. Like our record, I think statistically we're in the middle, like on offense and defense.
Wise, yeah. I think we're 15th offensively and defensively. I think we're 15,
16 around there. Like,
yeah.
We're literally. I think our net rating is 0-0.
Fair, though, all your losses make sense, and I'm not not trying to be disrespectful or anything.
No, I think we would agree. I think we would agree. We've said it. We said it when we played Milwaukee. We said that was our measuring stick, right? Like, okay, how close are we to those just gigantic teams, right? It kind of let us know where we were. And then the true measuring stick, we said, was the Atlanta game. If you blow out Atlanta, it showcases that wherever Atlanta ends up, you're better than Atlanta. The fact that you allowed them to come completely back.
I do believe we're better than
Atlanta. Just like,
and that's what bothers me.
Atlanta's playing hard this year, or recently, because I think they're like a 3 or 4 game winning streak.
They're killing it right now. They've been weird.
Yeah.
Well, what's helping them is that DeJounte is not only their best defensive player, he on some given nights could be their best offensive player.
Right.
So it's like they got the needed boost they've been looking for, right? DeJounte is turning out to be what they thought, what's his name? Reddish was going to be for them, right? That two-way player, that great two-way player. That's what he's become.
That's what they wanted, honestly.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So to me, again, we just have to live up to that. And the problem was in that game, Joel, where they came back, guess who the best player was for Atlanta? DeJounte Murray.
Murray.
So, Didge, in your loss, who was the best player? DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray came and balled.
So I'm like, the idea is Trae Young wasn't our issue in that. Obviously, he started to catch fire once Atlanta started to, kind of gain their footing. Yeah. But DeJounte is who led them. Didge, in that game against us, this motherfucker had like 3 back-to-back steals for a bucket.
He put up.
It was almost
I was just
jarring.
looking at that.
It was almost jarring. Like, pass the ball so you're not on him anymore.
It was like a mental collapse. It was
the fact that he had 36 that night.
Yeah,
not 37. Sorry, 36. I didn't realize.
And you know what's
that.
crazy, Didge? You know what's crazy? It seemed like the 36 came exclusively in the second half. It didn't, but it seemed like it did. It seemed like it did. We were up. It felt like almost 30. And then you blinked and you were just like, okay, it's 15. What the fuck? I just grabbed a drink. Like, I wasn't even gone long. What happened? And then Clyde's like, yeah, well, that's what happens when it's 6 steals back to back. What the fuck? What? So to me, Joel's not wrong. We could feel like we're better. Like you said, Didge, knowing that New England beat the Jets and the Jets just beat the Bills, you kind of have that feeling like we're better than the Jets and we could be just as good as the Bills, right? But the problem is that has to form itself in actuality. So when you lose to the said team you think you're better than, it kind of gives that feel of, well, now you got to go prove it.
Right.
Just like I told Joel, I thought we were better than Cleveland. Problem is, when we had the chance to prove it, you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Now, you have all rest of the season to prove it. But in those games where we had a chance to showcase where we could be placed amongst the Eastern Conference, all winnable games. Even the Milwaukee game, winnable game. The fucking first game of the season against the Grizzlies, winnable game.
That was definitely a winnable game.
You know what I'm saying? The Hawks game, winnable game. The Boston game wasn't a true blowout to like the last legs of the fourth, winnable game. So for me, it's kind of the idea of these are all winnable games, but the problem comes down to, again, one team has a star or the star talent. We don't. We lack it in those moments. You know what I'm saying? That's really just what for me, that's what it comes down to. I'm curious, Joel, how do you view it in those games against those teams that were on measuring sticks? I just viewed it as it came down to they just gave it to their star players and said, move out of the way. We don't have them.
Their makers made and ours didn't at the end of the day. I mean, I do believe like we're still adjusting. It's obviously an issue now the last 2 years when we get, even though we started actually pretty good last year. Mm-hmm. And then it collapsed. Now we started slow, or we're like in the middle. We're playing 500 basketball, which
we're not bad, but we're not as good as we should be.
Right, we're in the middle right now. We could have won some of those games, could have lost some of those games, but we're very much somewhere in the middle, and that's fine. We're still finding our footing. We're still figuring out the perimeter. Grimes hasn't been healthy. Our defense has been shit. At least our perimeter defense has been really shit. So it's
Mitch
really
being
matter.
out right now isn't helping.
Mitch is hurt now too. On top of that, so yeah, it sucks. But like, I think once we figure, because it took us they half the year to figure out the perimeter defense last year. Hopefully they figure hopefully this is the beginning of figuring it out like that Minnesota game, because they were actually showing effort defending like the 3-point line this time, where it was like Boston was like they forgot. They were getting confused. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I'm like, how are you getting confused? You practice this shit. I don't they can shoot. Why would you leave anyone open? I just don't understand how that happens.
Right.
But it's like and then the Minnesota game was different. Like Minnesota thought they could shoot on us, but we were like in their face, so they were just over. I think that's what happened. They were trying to like outshoot us.
Right.
And they don't got the shooters to do that.
No, D'Angelo was taking god awful shots all night. It was just like,
and we were in their face most of the game, which I appreciate. And then we was light out last time. We were like, we took that Boston energy and we brought it to Minnesota.
Yeah, Julius had 8 threes. 8 threes. It was just like, well,
I think it's a record for him.
Yeah, it was. We were like, well, shit. That Boston game, we could have used maybe just half of that. Half of that would have been nice in that game. Mm-hmm. For me, it's simple. A lot of teams right now that are middle of the road, they go, you know what? I'm looking for a big midseason acquisition, right? Big player we can go get, turn things around. Not Juwaan. I'm looking for Mike Woodson to get fired for his his coaching job and come back to the Knicks. That's the acquisition I need, not a player, a coach. We have never played defense better than when Mike Woodson was there, Didge. I swear it to you. We have never played. The problem we had with Mike Woodson was that we started to lack offensively. We've now fixed the offensive problem. We're now lacking defensively. You bring Mike Woodson there, you balance that shit out. You now got a star point guard. I think we'd be fine. We'd be fine, right? And with the treasure trove of draft picks that we got, young players we got, opens us up to making moves. But to me, I think the missing piece is Mike Woodson, and this team would be a lot better. That's what I'm hoping for. So I don't even know what college he went to. I don't know how they're doing, but I pray on their downfall. I don't even mean hope. I mean legit. It is part of my nightly prayers. that they are just god-awful and fire him, and then he comes back home to the Knicks. That's all I'm asking for. Oh, wait. Technically, Joel, didn't Brunson's dad take Mike Woodson's job?
I mean, kind of.
That's all right. Well, you got your son the job. That's all you came here for, so you can go.
Aren't you guys about to lose a draft pick for that?
Who?
Aren't you guys about to lose a draft pick? I thought you guys were. Isn't the tampering investigation still going?
It's still going. We don't know.
I literally thought they said, we're looking into it, but not really. And then that was it. That's really what.
Somebody just lost the draft pick, so I'm assuming they're really looking at it.
No, look. You know what helped us? You know what's helping us right now, and why I hope it continues? Kyrie Irving is really helping us out right now. He is really swerving the focus from anything else in the NBA to just him. I love it. Keep it going, Kyrie. Keep it going, buddy. We appreciate you. All right. And again, I don't understand how you can prove a team tampered when one of the coaches is the player's dad. I just really don't understand how you can conclude that it's tampering. That's my dad. So I'm not supposed to talk to my dad? Like, yep. I don't understand.
A lot of people don't talk to their parents anymore. You know when the last time I talked to my dad? Like an hour ago, actually. That's a lie. I don't know why I was going to lie. I just texted my dad.
Oh,
a lot of point.
Right. I was about to say, Didge. Come on, man. Yeah, I know you're lying. You tell me all the time you watch football with your dad. I'm like, I would just have to track it back 2 days ago.
Right. I literally actually just left my parents' house before we got on here. I was.
You're not even good at the lying, Didge. You're not even good at the lying. But yeah, so I am looking to see how these two teams look by All-Star break. See if the Knicks can kind of kick it into gear and see if the Bucks can really kick it into a gear.
To be above 500 by then, yes.
That's all I asked for. Don't give Didge a reason to question why we play on Christmas. That's all I asked the Knicks. Just be good enough that Didge has to swallow his tongue and say, you know what? I get it. You guys are good. You deserve it. Best arena in all of basketball. I get it. But yeah, and I will look to see Didge if the Bucks can, when Middleton gets back, kind of submit themselves as head over heels the best team in the East, right? Once he comes in. No, it's not. It's not what I'm hoping for. I'm just saying I'm looking to see
your nightly prayers.
Him coming back. Hell no. I only have room for one, and it's Mike Woodson getting fired. It's downfall. That's all my prayers are for. It's only downfalls.
Pray for the rest of the Eastern Conference.
I'm hoping he gets another job, Joel, just with us. I'm not hoping the man goes poor and loses everything. Just come home. That's all I'm asking. But yeah, so I am looking forward to seeing what comes of that. And also I'm paying a close eye, Joel, on Evan Fournier. That will be a name that will be on the trading block. But I'm looking to see what the Knicks ask for Fournier is what I'm looking to see. Like, are you looking to get talent back, or are you just looking to get draft capital? So I'm curious to see what they look for.
At this point, they might just get lucky with whatever they get.
Well, no, only reason I'm asking that is even if it's like a second rounder, because to me, I feel as though you create more problems if you get a player back, right? Mm-hmm. The problem now is we're trying to rotate him out to rotate more in. So it's like you bring another player in there that we got to figure out how they get minutes. It just it spurns the whole thing all over again.
Yeah, I can't imagine they expect to get any high pick. So I guess
no, not any very high picks. I'm just saying it's the goal.
We would have to take back a player, I think, to make the money. You have to make the money work, but it would be a player that's not going to get to not get in the way,
Right.
So it'd be like
and
a
we just go,
veteran.
hey, you're gonna go home.
Yeah, you're gonna ride the bench.
You're gonna sit all the way down there next to the towel guy, right down there. Don't even get up. When I say names, don't say that. It'll never be yours. But I am curious to see how the Giants look coming off a bye week. See what New England looks to do in their bye week. And just how the rest of because right now the NFC East very tight, AFC East very tight, right? I'd say the AFC East is tighter than the NFC East is. One team doesn't have a loss. It's hard to be that tight when one team is just like, I don't even know what the ground feels like. We're so high up in the air. But for us, the Bills getting that other loss definitely. Well, no. How this rest of the season plays out, I won't argue that. But right now, it's not tight because one team doesn't have a loss. So
I was gonna say because they.
So the race is between 2 and 4.
I take that back. They don't have that tough of a schedule second half.
No, they weren't on that list at all. Yeah, they weren't on that list.
They go.
I assume a lot of their hard games were to start the season.
They didn't have really. The Vikings was their toughest opponent, and obviously the Cowboys. That's interdivisional.
Right.
Okay. No. The Giants game.
Don't be rude.
I thought the Giants game was. I thought they already beat the Giants in New York. So I was gonna say that's the tougher of the two Giants games.
Gotcha.
But they do play the Giants in New York, so that's also a tough game.
All right, you see that, Joel? He gave you some props. Joel.
They haven't played the Giants at all. Never mind. I didn't realize they played the Giants twice in the second half.
Yeah.
Those are some tough games.
Those are. Giants can get them. Giants can definitely get them. So we'll see how that all pans out. Damn, Joel, relax. We'll see how that all pans out.
I'll take that back.
Digital, I don't like your energy. So shout out to you guys out there for checking out this episode of GVN Sports. We appreciate you. Shout out to Joel and DIdge. Shout out to Prime, who wasn't on this episode, but he'll be back next week. And again, guys, I told you before, our Black Panther review will be coming next week. Nothing this week. We want to give everybody time to watch it, digest it, because that's the problem now. Is that you watch it, you don't have enough time to digest it, and there's just spoilers and theories and so much for you to consume. We want to give you guys that time. So next Wednesday will be our Wakanda Forever review, aka spoiler breakdown. Give you guys the weekend to kind of consume it all. Okay. And God of War.
Check out my Twitter for spoiler reviews at 6:00 on Thursday, right when I get out of it.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be in the group chat heavy. Well, no. I'm lying. I won't be, because I'll be seeing it with Joel. So I'll just be talking just everything with Joel. That is one of the joys of living close to my best. I just talk to Joel. Shit. See it together. Just come right out of the theater. Yeah, let it all out.
100%.
So I'll be able to do that with Joel. I completely forgot about that. But wait, no, I don't need to go to the internet. I got the person that I would have ran to the internet to talk to about it. So I'm good.
The rest of the geeks that we're all seeing it together too. So
there you go. Yeah, we don't got to run to the internet. We got each other.
I'm still gonna spoil it.
I was about to say we're still gonna run to the group chat. So that's for damn sure. But I am pretty proud of myself. I've been avoiding any other clips, any people's reviews, even if obviously they're non-spoiler reviews. But I've been avoiding that too. I just kind of want to go in with my own expectations. I don't really need anybody adding anything else onto it. But we'll let you guys know our thoughts next week. God of War comes out tomorrow. So, ladies, if you're texting your mans and he's not responding, he's not cheating. He's just playing God of War. So just, bear with them. Okay? These are fun times. Not troubling, just fun times right now. Somebody I follow on YouTube had already gotten the game, so I've been watching the cutscenes, and holy shit. That is all I will say is holy shit, this story.
I will know for probably another year. That's my check.
I thought that, Joel, when I was watching.
Your PlayStation, you're not going to get it yet?
No, he hasn't, but Joel likes to finish games before he starts new ones.
Oh, every game I had I sat them down yesterday. I was like, look, guys, had a lot of fun. We'll see you guys for a couple months because
I'm be honest with you.
Kratos
I was playing when Saints Row came out. There were like 3 games that I was in the middle of that when I went to go hit play, because like everything I just do is download it to the system now.
Same.
It's just like dust came out of the disc reader. Like, you don't play us. It's like, you're damn right. Well, move over. You're getting pushed back again. Saints Row time, bitch. But yeah, no, I respect that. I respect that because Joel likes to get his, full money's worth. These games ain't cheap. They're only getting more expensive.
They're not cheap, no.
I respect it. I definitely do. I couldn't do it, but I respect it. I wholeheartedly respect it.
It's not like movies. Like, there are not people out there. I mean, there will be people spoiling shit, but it's not gonna be like a movie. Or I gotta what? Like, there are many games I went through without knowing how it ended.
And for me,
Yeah.
a game can never be spoiled for me because I never really play a game for the story. I play it to have fun playing it. The story is a bonus, especially if it's a great one. It's a bonus for me. But how the game plays is more important. Like, if you told me how GTA ends, I would tell you, well, it took me 4 years to even get to the end of this fucking story. Are you serious? I'm just killing people. Playing online. Like, I don't give a fuck about the story. But yeah, so we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about next week. Some new stuff came out, so stay tuned for Much Ado About Nothing on Monday for us to break down some of these big news topics, like Mobius in Deadpool 3. What the hell? Like, what? Time traveling movie, here we come.
Multiverse.
Cannot wait. Right. Cannot wait. So it's gonna be so much fun, guys. Can't wait. But till then, peace.
Peace.